Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the match of the United Rugby Championship. It is going to be Leinster taking on the Bulls, and this fixture has been one I've been looking forward to since they announced them at the very start of the United Rugby Championship forming. It's going to be an awesome game, and not just this game. We have got the game between Munster and the Sharks that will be taking place in just a little short while after this one as well. But I hope you are all doing well. Hope you are all excited for this game, ladies and gentlemen, because it should be a very good one indeed. But nonetheless, we will get ready to look at some of these starting lineups and reserves for both of these teams heading into this game for the United Rugby Championship. But I do want to know your score predictions, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you think will be winning this match between the two sides? I'm excited to see it because at the end of the day, the Bulls, they are a force to be reckoned with in the Southern Hemisphere when it comes to that Rainbow Cup. And also, they were able to win the Curry Cup very recently in that victory over the Sharks. Actually, the biggest victory in a final ever in the Curry Cup. The Bulls as well, says Greville. And also we have got there go Bulls, says a Philip in the chat as well. So at this stage, I guess the big question is, what is your guys' score predictions? How big are you separating these two sides? Are you saying that Leinster could sneak the win? Never watch the Bulls play as well, says Gregor Galway. So that is absolutely awesome that you will get to see your first experience seeing the Bulls play in a game up against Leinster. I mean, they are the juggernauts of the Northern Hemisphere, I guess you could say as well, for Leinster in that regard. So I'm hoping that this game does deliver because I am very excited for it. 5 a.m. at the moment in New Zealand we are sitting, but there is no way we are slowing down, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to continue to do our live streams all through the night for these ones. And I'm just making sure that this game is on Spark Sport. That is where we can watch the games here in New Zealand. And the reason behind it is pretty much, unfortunately, Sky didn't get the rights for this one. ABs were lucky this morning as well. Says that George, they were indeed. I mean, they made that many handling errors versus the Springboks, about 16 penalties that they gave away. So it was a very close game. Didn't expect anything different in terms of the fact of only being separated by a few points. But I'm looking forward to next week's match because I think both sides, the Springboks and the All Blacks, will fix those mistakes that they made and really come out firing for that next one as well. Bulls 25, other team 19, says Philip as well for his prediction. In terms of the score for this one, I like that score. 25-19, close game between the two sides. We saw that Benetton were able to get the upset win over the Stormers a little bit earlier on, which was a big one indeed. But Benetton at the moment, they are 2 wins from 2 versing these South African sides, of course, winning the Rainbow Cup final as well. But yeah, this game's going to be epic between these two sides. I'm hoping my device is trying to run out of battery at the moment. So I'll quickly plug that in and then we will be ready to go to look at some lineups for both of these sides. Now, I normally have them pop up on the screen, but unfortunately, due to a couple technical difficulties and also due to, unfortunately, just running low on time because daylight saving has struck here in New Zealand, which means we are missing just a little bit more time than I was expecting. I thought I had an hour of build-up to be able to prepare for, but instead it was actually no hour at all. So you guys will have to listen to my terrible pronunciations of some of these names. But first, we will look through this Leinster lineup. It is going to be Andrew Porter starting at 1, Dan Sheehan starting at 2, and then Michael Alatoa, ladies and gentlemen, he has made his way over there for Leinster. I didn't realize he was playing this game, and now I'm extremely excited to see what he can do. Ross Maloney and James Ryan going to be starting at 4 and 5. Then Reece Ruddock, Josh van der Fleer, and also it will be Caelan Doris starting at number 8. Luke McGrath going to be starting at 9. Jonathan Sexton, Johnny Sexton, he is back from his injury he had a little while ago. I remember it kept him out of some of the Champions Cup, I believe, if I'm not wrong there, for the last season for Leinster. And then James Lowe at number 11. It's going to be Kyron Frawley, sorry. Well and truly butchered that pronunciation. Gary Ringrose at 13 and Rory O'Loughlin going to be starting at 14. Hugo Keenan at 15 as well for them. So this is going to be a very strong Leinster side going up against a very strong Bulls side, though. It is going to be Gerhard Stennekamp starting at 1, Bismarck Duplessis at 2, and Mornay Smith at 3. Then Volt Stenkamp going to be starting at 4. Rowan Nokia in that number 5 jersey. The loose forward is going to be made up of Marcel Kutzer, Arnold Borta, and Heinrich Lowe, all very physical presences when it comes to these games, and I am excited to see what they can do up against such a physical side in Leinster as well. They are known for that kind of brutal, just grindy style. As you guys can tell, I'm extremely excited for this game, and we have got their Leinster 35, the Bulls 10 as well. Says Katie Dixon for the prediction. I know Peacock not showing the game, only Leinster replays from 2020. As well, says Katie Dixon with the George Sad emoji as well. That is a big shame because of the fact that this game, I have a feeling it's going to be fireworks. I think it's going to be a high-scoring one. I think also that there is just going to be a lot I don't want to say there's going to be controversy in this game, but I feel like there will be a big hit at some stage that might end up with a yellow card for either side, just for trying to get that little bit more enforcement in the early stages of this one. Maybe Michael Alalatoa might end up getting himself penalised, who knows, but I am excited for it, and hopefully I will be able to have it run smoothly through Spark Sport. Actually, the first game I'm ever going to be watching on Spark Sport on this live stream, so it's an epic occasion. I had to buy a subscription to be able to watch this one, but I was 100% going to be doing it. Anyone who is wondering what I am taking, it is nothing at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. It is just well and truly pure adrenaline being up at this time of the night. We have already done about 6 hours of live stream. By the end of this one, we will be up to around, actually, that's a lie, I think we've done around 7 or 8 hours of them so far. But going back to the starting lineup of the Bulls as well, Zach Berger starting at 9, Johan Hursen, he is back at number 10, but he was actually out a little while ago due to having COVID. So it is great to see that he has made a full recovery and he is ready to go at number 10. Madosh Tumbai, dangerous man. Anyone who hasn't seen this man play, you will see this incredible acceleration that just seems unrivaled when he's out on that wing. But Rory O'Loughlin, very good player as well to mark up within. Harold Foster and then Lionel Mopo making up the midfield, and Cornell Hendricks and David Creel going to be starting this one in the number 15 jersey. So it is going to be a very exciting one indeed to see whether or not these guys can really kind of, I want to see the Bulls do well in this competition, but I also do want to see the Leinster side really right up there in terms of the rankings as well. But I am just checking to see what time the Sharks play Munster, because that is the game that is going to be taking place straight after this one. It is just due to the time zones that it does make it a little bit more awkward in that regard, because we did have an hour of daylight savings that we did lose, right? It is going to be played at 7:35, that game. So that is all good indeed. We will be able to set our live stream up for that one as well while we are at it, while we are getting ready to go for this match between the two sides. But do let me know who you think will be the first try scorer as well. I have a feeling that it will be one of the Leinster players. I'll be honest. I think it could be Gary Ring. Oh, no, actually, no, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to say it is going to be, I'm going to say James Lowe is going to get the opportunity. I'm going to say it's either going to be James Lowe for Leinster or it's going to be Madosh Tumbai for the Bulls. So whoever's in that number 11 jersey, they are scoring themselves a try, is my prediction there, just because these two guys out on that wing, they are going to be well and truly going for it. But it's a good matchup. Madosh Tumbai up against Rory O'Loughlin is one that I'm excited for. 8:35 South African time as well. So that will be sitting at 7:35 a.m. New Zealand time. So it is going to be pretty much the whole night that we are doing these live streams, but I wouldn't change a thing. I absolutely love doing these for you guys as well. And I hope you are looking forward to this game. I've got about 100 tabs open at the moment on my PC, so I might have to close a few of them, or else we may end up, unfortunately, crashing the computer. But nonetheless, we are getting ready to go in this one as well. I'm not sure how much build-up they have on Spark Sport for these matches, but I am about to find out once I do mute the right tab. So we have got rid of the Sky Sport. We did use it for the last one, and now we are getting ready for this match between Leinster and the Bulls as well. Two exciting sides. Watch live as well. Don't know how smoothly this will run, but I'm fingers crossing that it will be a relatively soon one, or relatively smooth one, I should say, and no things go wrong for us. But nonetheless, I'm excited. Hope you guys are too. Once again, looking through the starting lineups of both of these sides, Michael Alalatoa is a name that comes to mind due to me being from New Zealand. I've seen a lot of this guy for Manawatu, and also I believe it is for the Crusaders, or I believe Manawatu was more of the one that I wasn't too sure about. The Crusaders, we've seen him for quite a wee while, that man, and he will be open to have an impact in this game. In his first game or second game for Leinster, has he played any preseason? I know he very recently was in Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. So for him to already be over there, hopefully he does have a good game there. Also a player I'm looking at is that 19 combo, Luke McGrath and Jonathan Sexton. He is one of those talented players. He's just got a very good kind of ability of being able to read the game. Johnny Sexton, very good kicking tee as well when it does get thrown at him, and he is able to put it straight down the middle. I believe the picture I've got of him, surely he doesn't have a mustache. I've got a mustache, but it is a little bit rough. It's not really the best one. Big love, Hamish and chat. I'd say Leinster by 17 based on Rainbow Cup final, to be honest, as well, says Sebastian. And speaking of the Rainbow Cup final, Benetton have just gone out and got themselves another win up against the Western Province, I believe it was, if I'm not wrong there. And they are just on fire at the moment, Benetton, to be able to get a win over another South African side. They have crossed off two. They have only got one more to go before they are able to complete their clean sweep. But I think these next ones will be a little bit more challenging for them in that regard, because they have still got the Sharks and also they have got the Lions. I would say the Sharks are the biggest challenge here, and that is why I'm so excited to see this match between Munster and the Sharks. that will be taking place a little bit later on, because those two sides, these Irish sides, they are just physical. They are a physical presence. And these South African sides, they enjoy a little bit of running rugby, but we have learnt so far from the first two games of the United Rugby Championship, running rugby isn't everything, because we did see for that game between the Western Province and also it was the Benetton side that they did get outplayed a little bit, and they were in the lead for that match as well up to a certain point. But I will mention, if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is hugely appreciated, all of you guys being here for this live stream. And yeah, if you are new, sure to hit that subscribe button, because we are going to be covering the game between Munster and the Sharks that will be kicking off in just a little short moment. I believe the Sevens is kicked off in Canada as well as another one. Hey, brother, as well, says Katie Dixon. And I appreciate every single one of you for being here. Sebastian, how is the wedding going, mate? Do let me know. I believe you were in the middle of the night the last time that we did have a little chat there. But yeah, do let me know how you are getting on. Hopefully you aren't too intoxicated, but you will be enjoying, I'm sure, that wedding occasion. Maybe in Romania. I believe it would be in Romania. I haven't been to a Romanian wedding. Maybe they throw good ones. Do let me know. At this stage, we are only around 5 minutes away from kickoff, ladies and gentlemen, and I am buzzing for this match. Looking through the lineup of the Bulls, I guess I should mention, I have been watching a bit of the Currie Cup and also the Rainbow Cup South Africa. So for you guys who don't really know too much about these South African sides, I will try and let you know the best amount of information that I can. Roy Nokia got in a line out. He is a player to look out for in the number 4 jersey. Also, Marcel Kutze, Arnold Borta, and then Heinrich Loh. They are all extremely present in terms of those breakdowns, also extremely physical. So you got to be careful with him. Johan Husson, he is talked about as maybe the next Springbok number 10. So perhaps he will be able to have a good game. Zach Berger, very sneaky around the side of the ruck. Madosh Tumbwe, pace for days. And then also you have got Lionel Mapo in the midfield alongside Harold Forster, which was working very nicely for them in more recent times. And then David Creel at 15, always dangerous as well. GC7 tournament is awful as well, says a PKR Sport. But I guess at least there's something in that regard. Like, they could have just kind of scrapped the whole thing. I'm not sure what it's going to do to the Sevens in terms of the kind of standings, in terms of the world rankings. But at the end of the day, the fact that they've still been able to hold some sort of competition, like South Africa, they were able to win that one, the Blitzbox, I believe they are called there, which is great for them. And that will give them confidence going into those games when we head to maybe Dubai. I believe it's the next location that it will be taking place, and that will be with the New Zealand sides, South African side, and also Fiji, Argentina, France, Australia, you name it, they are getting added into that one, which does make it very, very exciting indeed. Oh, I hear noise in my eardrums, which means we are getting closer and closer to the kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, they just turned it off. Okay, now it's back. No, they decided to play a little bit of music for like a build-up or just a couple noises, and then it disappeared. And I was very concerned for a second. I thought that they were cutting it off completely, but no, we are ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. And this match should be outstanding between these two sides. I'm excited to see Leinster in action. I haven't watched a game from Leinster since the Champions Cup, where they did lose to, I believe it was La Rochelle, was actually the loss that they had there, which is an incredible loss, really, in that regard, because La Rochelle are one of those sides. They have been putting their passion on the line in their last few games, and they just show up like a team that want to win. And that's why in the top 14, I feel like they are a decent team to rate in that regard as well. But nonetheless, they have actually turned off the sound, but they are showing the players running around in the background, which means we are not too far away from the kickoff taking place. I will mention once again, if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as we are going to be covering all of the games of the United Rugby Championship that weekend. They are only showing the United Rugby Championship South African games on Spark Sport, but for those other games, I may even get into that situation. I might buy match passes, which are about 17 New Zealand dollars to watch the one game. But if it is something you guys want to see, I am 100% keen on paying a few extra dollars to be able to provide live commentary for you guys on those matches. At this stage now, they are showing there's quite a few people in attendance, which I am happy to see. I love seeing a stadium that is relatively full, because of the fact that this match is going to be an outstanding one. Have I said outstanding enough times already? I feel like I'm getting right up there in terms of the amount of times that I have said it so far, but it's the truth. It's going to be an outstanding game, and we are only around 4 or 5 minutes away, although they seem like they have just run off the field, so that means we are getting very close to the kickoff being upon us here. But I am quickly going to be getting up my live scoreboard so that I can show you guys exactly what the score is for this game. I can't pick a winner at this stage. I think Leinster are supposed to win it, as they are the favourites, but I just can't guarantee that they aren't going to be able to fight in this one for the Bulls. They are one of those sides that if they find a bit of early momentum, they could really start to push themselves towards getting around that 30 points or so. Maybe even a bonus point could be on the table for them as well if they do get so lucky, but we will have to wait and see if that is going to be the case. But yeah, like I mentioned, do let me know who you think is going to be scoring the tries in the early stages of this one. I just pressed the wrong button, but we are good to go, are we? No, we're not. I pressed the really wrong button there, unfortunately. So we will go like this, and we will go like this. Right, we have got the scoreboard up, and we are going to be ready to go as soon as we do get the chance, although I did close the wrong tab, unfortunately, I believe. There we go. I fixed it. Tell you what, that was a shocking little moment there for myself. Ended up getting all kinds of lost, but we are back now, and we are ready to go for this match once they do make their way out onto the field. 5:15 a.m. is when it is scheduled for the kickoff to take place. So we are going to be out there very soon. And I hear music in my ears, which does mean we are getting very close indeed. I'm not sure about the delay on Spark Sport compared to the... right. I've got the Irish commentary at the moment. Interesting. I wonder if there's a way of having it. Oh, no, I guess it is actually Irish commentary, if I'm not wrong there. Yeah, he's got a very strong Irish accent, this fellow, but that is all right indeed. We have got there into the chat. We've got quite a few already, so I do appreciate every single one of you for being here. They are just showing the starting lineups once again. I will go through them in a very short moment once they are making their way out onto the field. I am just going to share my screen. This one has been a little bit disorganized at the very start. I do apologize for that in advance, but pretty much we have had back-to-back games going on here in New Zealand and also all over the place as well. So Flash Score is going to be where we are relying on for our live kind of scoreboard. They are normally a little bit behind for some of the other competitions. So hopefully this one will not be the same and they will be right up to date and we will be good to go in terms of not being too far behind in that regard as well. And at this stage now, they are showing a decent crowd there for Leinster. They are at the AVIVA Stadium, and these guys will all be wanting to go out there and really make an impact in their first game of the United Rugby Championship. The Bulls, they are a good side, being led out by Marcel Coetzee, ladies and gentlemen. It is almost upon us. We're going to get to see the winners of the Currie Cup taking on Leinster, who are, like I mentioned, just a juggernaut in the rugby world in the Northern Hemisphere. I see Mapoe is wearing the white for this one as well, the Bulls, as they are the away side in this game. I'm still struggling to pick a winner, I'll be honest. I want to pick one, but I feel like I will get it wrong in that regard. But I'm going to say Leinster by 15 is my prediction there, and I feel like that is well and truly harsh in terms of, unfortunately, that's very harsh against the Bulls, so maybe I will go a little bit closer in the end of this one, but nonetheless, Leinster making their way out there. They've got the loud music blaring at the moment, and the crowd are well and truly getting behind their side for this matchup. We will have to wait and see whether or not they can make this home crowd happy as well. The referees making their way out onto the field as well. It is going to be Mike Adamson, Ian Kenny, Daniel Carson, and also Neil Patterson as well. I'm still grieving the Springboks loss as well, says Tevin. I think a lot of people will be for a little while, but the good news is we get to see the game again next week, and it is that next week's game that will really show us in terms of who is the best at adapting into these Southern Hemisphere kind of conditions, playing each other in Australia, because we saw a lot of handling errors for the All Blacks. We saw a lot of mistakes from the Springboks in terms of those penalties conceded, but they are ready to go in this game as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing who can make the best kind of adaptation into that second game. But Johan Horsen, will it be kicking off this one? And he is going to be kicking off from right to left. They are showing Jonathan Sexton there, and he will be open to have himself a good old performance in this game as well. It has been kicked off, and we are underway, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, did that one end up going straight into touch on the full there? I'm not too sure, but we will have to wait and see. In that regard, I am quickly just going to close a couple more tabs as well. But kicked into touch on the full by Johan Horsen is not the start to this match that he would have been seeing. In that regard, not what you want when you are having your first touch of the ball in the Northern Hemisphere as well. They are saying that there's always music blasting at this ground as well. And Leinster as well, for Katie in the chat for who she thinks is going to be winning this game. But now it is going to be the line out. Or actually, they're going to go for the scrum on the halfway line here. And Leinster will get themselves an early opportunity in this one to try and assert some dominance on the halfway line. But they've got a big four-pack. Like I mentioned, Michael Alalatoa going to be playing for Leinster in this game. I'm excited to see that man in action. We've seen him for the Crusaders be dominant as one of those options in the front row. So I'm hoping to see that he does well here, but he is going to be straight away up against Gerhard Steenkamp, which is not an easy one. That's going to be a blow of the whistle from the referee, and the front rows are going to be just resetting here as well, guys. Let's share the link to this live stream with our friends. Let's show some love to this channel as well. Says Stephen, thank you very much, mate. Hugely appreciated all the support you guys have been showing. At the end of the day, this is going to be the first ever United Rugby Championship live stream on this channel. And we've got Hello Flash Score we meet again as well. I'm hoping they will be relatively smooth for this one, but we will have to wait and see. And there again, my voice starting to cut in and out, unfortunately, which is not ideal for me, but hopefully it will last throughout this match and the next one. And like I mentioned, it's going to be very exciting. There's actually another United Rugby Championship game going on at the same time, but unfortunately they are not showing it here. It's going to be a penalty to Leinster now, and that's going to be about 50 metres out here. And straight in net. Oh, tell you what, it's a little bit of wrestling going on the ground already in this game early on. I believe it was the Leinster number 1, Andrew Porter, who wasn't too happy with one of those fellows. Is that Andrew Porter? Is he? Yeah, it is Andrew Porter. But now from the halfway line, does it Johnny Sexton? I don't believe he'll have the distance here. So he will be instead kicking this one for the touchline, but it was not driving straight as the penalty that they did give up against Leinster for this one. But Johnny Sexton kicking this one into touch now. And he has been able to find it just inside of the 22. I am glad to see him back in that number 20, or it's not number 20, the number 10 jersey, I should say as well, because I'm wondering whether or not we're going to get to see him play up against the All Blacks for the later tour that they are going to be having. All Blacks are going to be playing Wales, Ireland, Scotland, I believe is another one. And also we will be playing Italy and Wales. If I didn't already say Wales, which I think I did. France was the team that I missed out there. But now it's going to be Dan Sheehan throwing it in, taken nicely there by Leinster. Sheehan now got the ball in hand once again, offloading it now. And it will be Kalen Doris driving his way forward, 15 metres out now for Leinster. Oh, it's a big bit of contact there. On it would have been, I believe it was Josh van der Vliejo, whose name I don't pronounce very easily at all. Goes to ground there. James Ryan now once again going short side. McGrath offloading it backwards here. And at this stage, the Springboks, or not the Springboks, the Bulls, they will have to make sure that the defence is strong. That's a penalty against them for, I believe, the player not rolling away against number 7 there. So that was Arnold Borta. Did he ended up getting penalty there against them? And now it will be Leinster. Easy 3 points on the cards here for them if they decide to take it. But the big question is whether or not they decide to take the 3, or do they continue to drive and try and get themselves more points on the board here for Leinster. But Johnny Sexton, he was hit hard in the tackle there by Bismarck du Plessis, straight on the ball. But unfortunately, when he was on the ball, the other man had to get off it, and that was Arno Borta, who wasn't quite able to roll away. So in this game now, 3 minutes into it as well, it looks like Johnny Sexton will be able to add the first points on the board for Leinster, not just in this match, but the first points on the board for them in the United Rugby Championship format. We do get to see all of the Irish sides having Irish derbies also in that regard. South African sides having South African derbies, and everyone will play each other once throughout the competition. It's a very awesome one indeed, because of the fact it is quite a long competition that we do get to see running straight through pretty much, I think it's to the end of the year or somewhere around there, maybe even a little bit later. But Johnny Sexton there, deep breath here, wanting to make sure that this one goes over and to give Leinster a bit of a lead in this game now by 3 points. He has been able to get it straight down the middle, Johnny Sexton. So now the score after 4.5 minutes, it is going to be the total of 3-0 for Leinster. So a good start to the match for the home crowd, and they will be excited to see what happens from here on out. So we haven't had a try yet in this one, though. We'll have to wait and see. I am quickly getting up the game between Edinburgh and the Scarlets as well, just to make sure that I do see exactly when that one is updating as well. And yeah, Johnny as well says that KT Dixon there is going to be taken very nicely by the man on number 12 jersey, which in this one is Frawley. Rolling the ball back. It's going to be going high, almost charged down by du Plessis, but the ball is going up to the halfway line, taken beautifully by David Creel now trying to break the tackle, but good low tackle there from it would have been O'Loughlin. Going back across now once again. Will be the man in number 6 jersey now. Like I mentioned, the loose forwards. Marcel Kutzer was the man who had that one little kick in behind here. Almost hit his own player there, Johan Awesome, but pinning the ears back, trying to get it, but now it's in the hands of it will be once again. I tell you what, McGrath, for some reason, even though that is a simple enough name, I always don't get it off the tongue the way that I like it to. Is this going to be a 50-22? No, just bouncing for David Creel inside of that 22 now with the step as well. Low tackle, and he's been able to offload it on the inside. Ringrose with a great tackle in the end to force him close to the touchdown. Now Cornel Hendricks hit very hard in that tackle, 20 metres out from their own line. Here the Bulls, and they will be open to continue to build a few more phases driving forward with their big forwards here. Walt Stenkamp getting the carry, and it looks like Zachberger going to be rolling this ball back for the kick high. And that's exactly what he has done. It's going to be very close to the touchline, but taken very nicely by Sexton. Now James Lowe, his first carry of the match. A little bit of a step as well around the South Africans. And getting a couple extra meters for a side. 40 meters out now for Leinster, using the big forwards at their 9-4. Johnny Sexton now using the back line. They've got the advantage as well. This is linking up beautifully. Ringrose offloads as well. And Josh Vandenflair driving over the top of the Bulls. What a try that is for the number 7 for Leinster. What a way to start the match as well. Tell you what, physicality on display there for Josh Vandenflair. And he has been able to score the first try of the match there for Leinster. I am going to add that one to the try scorers list as well. Well, that was a phenomenal run, Johnny Sexton, and then went to Low, and then they just kept on using that back line. In the end, he was able to break through a couple tackles originally Low, set up a nice back line movement here. Johnny Sexton passed it back, linking up with, I believe it was Ringrose on his outside, who did fire the offload up to Josh Vandenflair, and he was just going, that man, and no one was stopping him, and it is a try to Leinster early on in this match. I will add that one to the list. Van der Flair as well. There we go. We will add that one, and it was scored in only around the 7th minute of this game as well, which is absolutely incredible for Leinster to start this match as well as they have. They are sitting pretty nicely indeed. And try, Leinster, says Sebastian, and try for Leinster as well, says Katie Dixon. And what a try it is for them to be able to get very early on in this game. Johnny Sexton now once again going to have a kicking opportunity for leading by 10 points maybe for Leinster. They are scoring at more than a point a minute. If they continue like this, they are getting 80 points. But of course, the Bulls should be able to slow them down at some stage throughout this one. But we will have to wait and see where and when, I should say, that moment is going to be as well. But I will mention anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're going to be covering a lot of the United Rugby Championship, also Gallagher Premiership, Top 14, United Rugby Championship. I've already said that one. International fixtures as well. Johnny Sexton straight down the middle. And the score now is going to be 10-0 for Leinster over the Bulls here after 8 minutes. Very good start to the match for them, and showing a lot of promise for their home crowd here, because they have got a few people tuning in at AVIVA Stadium. But Josh Vandenflair just going big time there, mate. And he was just going all the way to the try line as well. Very nicely done there for Josh Vandenflair. I feel like I pronounce that name differently every time I say it, but that is all right. You know, we're working on it. Hopefully some of these names will roll off the tongue a little bit later on as well. Come on, Bulls. As well, says Hercules. Can they get themselves back into the match? They need to score the next try here. Michael Alalato once again passing it back. Now it will be James Lowe shut down there by Arnold Borta. But they have still got this one available. Or do they? Zach Berger trying to get the counter ruck. But it will still be on the side of Leinster, just inside of their 22. Andrew Porter now getting the ball in hand. Trying to drive forward just outside of the 22 now. And at this stage now for the Bulls, they need to make sure that they don't give the ball away too often to Leinster, because it looks like Leinster are going to be playing that running game of rugby, which is a very entertaining indeed to watch. James Lowe on the left boot. Going to be kicking it way downfield. That is a boot and a half down to the 22 now. Johan Horsen taking this ball, puts it very high as well. Chased up by David Creel, trying to line it up. It's a swirling wind. He has almost been able to take it, David Creel, but knocks the ball on in the end. And now it will be back for Frawley, who will be clearing the lines of Leinster once again, just outside of the 22. Very well weighted kicks here for Leinster so far. And Johan Horsen going for the big kick downfield, close to the touchline, taken nicely there by McGrath, and firing it back across to James Lowe. It's a kick-in battle at the moment between these two sides. James Lowe striking that one very nicely as well. Bouncing the ball as well, just outside of the 22. Johan Horsen once again going to be firing it to the sky. And this time he has got Forster, I believe it will be. Jason, this one wasn't able to get there as quick as he wanted to. And James Lowe taking it beautifully there. Now it's going to be McGrath going back across. Going to be a big physical tackle there from the Bulls on. It was Kalen Doris going back across now. Porter once again getting the carry. Trying to protect that ball here. Leinster putting phases together, I think. Zach Berger there has given away the penalty. Yes, he has. By the way, Hamish, the bet has been placed. If Lions win the inaugural United Rugby Championship season, I'll donate the profit to the channel as well. Looking after their first game. Looking good after their first game as well, says Sebastian. And tell you what, if they continue the way that they did in that first game, I'm looking forward to seeing how they go up against some of these other sides. Dollar signs in the chat from Katie Dixon as well. But that one is a good kick downfield from Johnny Sexton there, and he will be hoping to continue to get himself points. He's already scored in this one 4 so far. And the United Rugby Championship, something I love about what they are trying with this new kind of format as well. They are actually doing player ratings and everything. So you kind of get rewarded for little bits of skill that you use throughout the match and everything along those lines, which I think is absolutely awesome to kind of see that fantasy league get kind of linked up with the real play. But now it's going to be Roa Nokia got this ball here for the Bulls. Charged down there by Leinster. And now the ball, is it going to sit up? No, he hasn't been able to. Yes, he did claim it. Very nicely done there. It was in the end the man on the number 14 jersey, Rory O'Loughlin. I thought he fumbled it when he first did it, but somehow just kept the momentum rolling. And in the end, he was able to hold that ball, but then just thrown into touch, unfortunately, for Leinster. But in the end, the charge down, I believe it was Johan Horson who tried to kick that one downfield and just ended up two players right there, O'Loughlin, and also it was Frawley, all over him like a bad smell, and they were able to stop him from getting that kick away, and they were almost able to charge it down as well. But now it's going to be Bismarck Duplessis in the number 2 jersey for the Bulls here, and he will be able to get himself a good line-out throw. Do they use the Pro 14 bonus point system? 4 tries scored as well, says Sebastian. That is actually a very good question, and I will get that for you in a very short moment, but I'm having a feeling that Leinster may be able to get themselves an attacking play here, and it just looks set for a good opportunity to score a try, or Bismarck Duplessis almost able to steal the ball for the Blues. Little chip in behind here, and it is going to be going high. It's going back on the side of Frawley, taken by Ringrose. He's got about 7 men on the outside, and Porter scores the try there for Leinster. And another one here, Andrew Porter scoring this one now in the 12th minute, but I will get that information for you in a short moment. But by the looks of it, we're not even going to need to know, because Leinster look like they're going to push their way towards that bonus point nonetheless, because they have already been able to score 2 tries in the first 12 minutes of this one. We will go like that on the board as well. 12 minutes in, Andrew Porter, the number 1, scoring himself a try. Leinster as well. Sets up Ashton. It was very nicely done indeed. And a try. Leinster in the chat from Katie Dixon as well. Right, we will go back and we will see on the table. It does have on my app that I can see exactly what it is going to be in terms of the kind of point system. So competition points, 4 points for a win, 2 points for a draw, 1 point for scoring 4 or more tries is the one there. Big man Porter as well, says Katie Dixon. He was able to score it. He's got an interesting haircut, but he doesn't matter in that regard, because he has been able to score himself a very nice try there for Leinster. And the Bulls at this stage, they cannot let this continue. They need to try and slow them down. Have we got a stoppage in play here for the referee? No, we were just talking about something else. I thought for a second they were going to be going back to have a look at that one. But once again, Leinster on fire in the early stages of this game. But the Bulls, I know that they are a physical side. They are a capable side as well. So I'm hoping we get to see them fight back just a little bit. Anyone who was wondering as well, for the 7 scores, as they are coming in, Great Britain 7s were able to beat Jamaica 7s 48-0. So a little bit one-sided in that regard. Is this game heading in that direction? Surely not. I would like to think that they will be able to score themselves 1 or 2 more tries in this game than they have got at the moment. The Bulls, as they have got 0, but they will be able to change that in the later stages, I'm sure. But Johnny Sexton now lining up this kick once again here for Leinster. He will be getting a lot of kicking practice in this game by the looks of it. But AVIVA Stadium have got a decent crowd there, and they are cheering on their home team at the moment. Johnny Sexton lining this one up. As he got it? Yes, he does. Never looked like missing there for Johnny Sexton. And now the score is going to be 17-0 for Leinster at this stage. But Roa Nokia just not able to take that ball clean. And then from there, bounced on the side of Gary Ringrose. One more on the outside to Porter, and he was able to put the ball down and score himself his first try of the season of the United Rugby Championship. Tell you what, is a number 1, getting yourself a try. I believe it gets you like 2 fantasy points, so he will be very happy with that in that regard. We have got there in the chat, elbow cough as well from Katie Dixon. It comes through as elbow cough, but I believe it is the dabbing emoji, if I'm not wrong there, but kicked off long, and it is going to be in the hands of Doris once again, just breaking tackles of the Bulls. Tell you what, they're going to have to be careful there. They cannot afford to miss too many tackles in this game. It's going to be once again now driving forward here. Man, and the number 5 jersey, James Ryan, going back once again. McGrath using that backline. James Lowe bounce pass in the end. Out into the hands of, it is going to be the number 15, which in this one is Hugo Keenan. First carry for him in this match so far, other than, of course, the kicking back and forth that we have seen so far. But now it's going to be a little grubber in behind once again from Leinster. It's going to be sitting up as well for the big man in the number 8 jersey. Break-in tackles, I heard a penalty in front of the kicker is the call. Tell you what, it was almost a beautiful grubber in behind from Leinster once again, and they are on fire in the early stages of this game, ladies and gentlemen. 17-0 after 15 minutes. The Bulls are the Currie Cup champions of South Africa, and Leinster are trying to prove that they are the strongest side out of the hemisphere. So it's going to be kick for touch, though. Johan Horson, good opportunity here for the Bulls to get themselves on the board. It's going to be about 15 metres out, and it will once again be Bismarck Duplessis. We'll have the line-out throw there. But I believe it was Maloney, Ross Maloney, that is, was just a little bit in front of the kicker there, which is why it ended up going for the penalty the way of the Bulls, the Vodacom Bulls, that is. And when was the last time? Show the scores, please, as well. Says it is drink too much to run. The came low as well. It is the score just here, 17-0 at the moment to Leinster. And the two try scorers, Josh Fundenflair, and also it was Andrew Porter who was able to score the other. So 2 forward tries for them in this game so far. But we will have to wait and see whether or not they can continue that trend. Can all 3 of the first tries of this game be scored by forwards, perhaps? And they are running like their backs at the moment as well, but we are just waiting for this line-out throw by the looks of it. The referee is looking like he is waiting for something at the moment here. What are we going back for? I think they are actually checking something on the TMO, or are we just waiting for this one? Zach Berger just asking the question about something in that regard. Okay, they're checking about 3 things here by the looks of it. So it is going to be Hugo Keenan here driving forward. I think they are just trying to check whether or not there is an illegal clean out, is it? If I'm not wrong, it looks like Mapo, a little bit of a swing, I think they are saying there, but Mapo, he did end up wrapping his arm around the ball, so it is completely fine. And it will now be the line out for Leinster, for the Bulls. Bismarck du Plessis throwing that one in now off the back here. Marcel Kutzer, the captain, he will not be happy with the first 15 minutes of this game, but he will be hoping to change it around now, driving forward once again. Oh, he got a massive knee in the face from his own player there, the Bulls, but they are inside of the 22, 20 metres out. And they are going to be driving their way forward with those big forwards somewhere that they can match Leinster at times with for the physicality. And at the moment now, Zach Berger once again firing it back into the hands of it will be Heinrich Lowe getting his first carry of this game so far, getting held up though by Frawley. And it is going to be a tackle. The knee is down, so they have to release him now. And still available for the Bulls. Berger now going short side, quick hands. Almost available, but instead taking the contact. Mapo got smacked in the face there, I believe, if I'm not wrong. And now it is going to be an advantage. Might have gotten a finger in the eye, and it is going back for the penalty now for the high tackle. And it is going the way of the Bulls. Right, they are currently sitting 17 points behind. If I was a betting man, I would say they are kicking this ball for the corner, and that is exactly what they have done, as at this stage, they cannot win this game with 3-pointers. It seems like Leinster are just going to keep that pace going throughout this whole game, and that is why they have to be extremely careful. Mapo, I'm trying to see whether or not that was a finger or anything that didn't end up going in the eye, or whether or not he just caught something else there in that regard. But now it's going to be Bismarck du Plessis throwing it in. It's stolen, though, by James Ryan, doing very nicely there. I believe he was in the British and Irish Lions squad as well, James Ryan. I think. No, sorry, he might have been in the Irish squad. Or was he in the British and Irish Lions squad? Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen. I know he plays for Ireland, of course, but did he? Oh, Tumboy taking that one beautifully on the 22 now for the Bulls, and straight away Leinster trying to get them back in the breakdown, trying to keep those phases low for the Bulls in the early stages of this game. Now Porter around the side gives it off to Bismarck du Plessis. Good job there from the Leinster forward, and Josh Fundenflair once again going to be winning the penalty for his side. He is on fire in the early stages of this game, that is for sure. And the Bulls at this stage, they need to make sure that those clean-outs are happening very early, or else they end up kind of getting themselves a little bit self-isolated. And it has been leading to the opportunity for Leinster's big forwards to get in there. But now Johnny Sexton from inside of his 22, he will be kicking this one for the touchline as well. My predictions have been wrong so far in terms of who I think is going to be scoring the first try of the match. But I am going to say now the next tries, it is going to be either Madosh Tumboy for the Bulls, or it is going to be, I think, I'm going to say Dan Sheehan is going to score the next try for Leinster if they get the chance. I've just noticed that Johnny Sexton is kicking. Leinster are in good hands as well, says Sebastian. And yeah, at this stage, it seems like he is going to be having a very good day off the boot. 3 from 3 already in this game. And we are only 18 minutes into this one, almost stolen from the Bulls in the lineup. But now it's going to be McGrath passing it back to Sexton, using that back line once again. Ringrose with a spin, but a big hit on him there from Marcel Kutzer. Ball almost going forward, but it is going to be still on the side. Roa Nokia trying to get back to his feet, steal it from the Leinster fellas. Now it's going to be back to Josh Fundenflair once again. Not able to get in there was Bismarck du Plessis trying to get the turnover. Sexton now kicking high. Chased hard by the looks of it of O'Loughlin. Madosh Tumboy taking it nicely in the air though. And it was a very nice low tackle on him. And now Leinster straight on the ball. And it's a penalty to the Bulls instead there. And it was for the player leaving his feet as the call there from the referee. But anytime it goes to the ground, I feel like both teams, definitely the Bulls will be strategic to keep that offload game going in the early stages of this game, because anytime it's gone to ground, Leinster have been right in there and they have been trying to turn it over. Same for the Leinster side. in terms of trying to keep that ball moving around. We did see it in the earlier stages when they used that back line, and it was the try of Josh van der Fleur in a little bit earlier on. Anytime I say Fleur, it sounds like I'm trying to do an Irish accent, but not really, and it is just coming across as a little bit Irish in terms of the way that it's coming off the tongue. But Duplessis, Bismarck Duplessis, that is going to be line out throwing this one in now on the 22. Going to the back now. It's going to be taken nicely by Harold Foster, who is driving his way forward. My voice is trying to disappear. Zach Berger now going short side instead. Offloads it now. Got a run from Stenkamp. Offload as well to Marcel Kutzer. Only 5 meters out now for the Bulls as well. It's available at the back, using their forwards to just try and push their way forward. Arnold Borta was the man getting involved in that breakdown now for the Bulls. Leinster, they're very good with their goal line defence, so they have to make sure that they do not give away a penalty for being offside. Michael Alatoa getting in there, trying to help it. It's an offside advantage for them in that situation. James Ryan was not on the British and Irish Lions team, you think, but I could be wrong as well, says James Ryan. Says Katie Dixon. About James Ryan, I should say. Zach Berger sounds the dummy as well. Now finding the offload as well to Stenkamp. And they have still got the advantage, so they can throw everything at the Bulls. Now it's going to be Bismarck Duplessis creeping closer and closer to the line here for the Bulls. Available at the back. Zach Berger goes back to Horson now. Offloads, and they're getting very close. They've still got the advantage as well. Zach Berger now. They've got men on the outside. Cut out pass. Madosh Dumbai with the spin. He is only a metre short. Offloads it to Cornell Hendricks. It's been stripped in his hands. And what a bit of defence from Leinster there. They are going to be going back for the penalty in favour of Leinster, in favour of the Bulls. But tell you what, that could have been a try for Cornell Hendricks, but unfortunately just spilling that ball on the line in the end for the Bulls. But Zach Berger went to Horson. Great cutout pass. Madosh Tumbai just spinning out of the tackle with Keenan. Wrestled down to the ground by McGrath. Found the offload to Cornell Hendricks, but in the end it was Josh van der Fleur as well. He has done nothing wrong in this game so far, that man. And now it's straight on in front. What do they decide to do here for the Bulls? Looks like they're going to be taking on the three-pointer, if I am not wrong there, which is an interesting choice here for the Bulls, seeing as they are sitting 17 points down, but they want to get some form of points on the board just to try and give themselves that little bit of confidence going into the second part of the first half as well. We're already 22 minutes into this game. I am excited to see where it leads to from here, but Johan Horson, he's got plenty of strapping on that left arm, that is for sure. He has got a decent kicking boot on him as well, so he will be hoping to get this one straight down the middle for the Bulls here, Johan Horson. Tell you what's flash score, they're on point today. Spark Sport must be a little bit slow because that one has gone over from Johan Horson, and now the score is going to be 17 points to Leinster, 3 to the Bulls in the early stages of this game as well. 14 points is the difference. Leinster scoring 2 early tries with Josh van der Flyer, and also it was Andrew Porter, 2 forwards, able to score their tries, and also a penalty for Johnny Sexton was able to convert it. Madosh Tumbai getting very close to the line there, but then unfortunately Cornell Hendricks had the ball ripped away. He was so close to the line, and you could see that he was disappointed with the fact that that one was taken away from him as he got extremely close as well. Now it will be kicked off once again by Johnny Sexton. See whether or not he can get this one just outside of the 22. It's going to be taken nicely by Heinrich Lowe. Going for a little bit of a counter run. Porter wrestles him down to the ground, though. 30 meters out now from their own line here. It is going to be the Bulls once again in the ball up. Mornay Smith gets the carry. And now Berger fires it back to Horson, and he will be putting the ball up. It's going to be chased hard by the looks of that by Cornell Hendricks and Mapo. Johnny Sexton, plenty of space here just outside of his own 40-meter line, or just outside of his half, I should almost say, because James Lowe going to be driving forward now for the Bulls, or for Leinster as well. I'll tell you what, that was a shocking sentence to be fair. Once again, going to be driving forward here. Dan Sheehan getting the carry for Leinster, and it looks like now he's setting up for the kick here, McGrath, rather than deciding to go for the run. Who have the Bulls selected for kicking? Horson as well. They have indeed. It is going to be Johan Horson who will have the kicking duties for this game. Currently sitting 1 from 1, although that one was from about 10 meters out in front for that man. But now the ball is back in the hands of the Bulls after that kick from it was McGrath. Zach Berger looking like he is going to be going to the short side, the far side of the field here for the Bulls to set up for the kicking opportunity once again. They haven't really had too much of the territory in this game so far for the Bulls, other than those last couple of minutes. Other than that, it's been all Leinster. So they need to try and shut that momentum down with the high ball here. 50 meters out. Johnny Sexton takes it beautifully. Going to be tackled close to the touchline by Mapo, and also Cornell Hendricks counter right coming from Arnold Borta. Zach Berger trying to get in there. That ball is in touch, and I believe it is going to be the Bulls who will have this line out throw now. So they're doing nicely, trying to put them under pressure here. And at the end of the day, Leinster, they started this match extremely well. They only need 2 more tries to be able to get themselves that bonus point for having 4 or more tries than your opponent. So it is worth a crack for them to be able to keep on going at a frantic pace. Johnny Sexton there. And Cornell Hendricks actually looking like he's got a little bit of an injury on the forearm. At the moment, he is off the field. They have got a few decent replacements here for the Bulls as well. If they did need to, they'd probably either go with Stedman Hans or it would be Chris Smith. But I believe in this situation, it would be more likely Hans. Smith will be saved maybe for Johan Horsen later on in the game if he does get that little bit of an opportunity as well. But I'm looking through the reserves as well. Jamison Gibson Park, of course, he is relatively close to being a Kiwi in that regard, so it is great to see him in this competition. Ed Byrne as well. Cian Healy as the replacements for them. That one wasn't very straight for the Bulls, but it is straight enough, and it is going to be Zach Berger now. Goes back to Horsen. Mapo offloads it back into the hands of the captain Kutsa, and it's a penalty for the Bulls now, and it is for offside against Leinster. Taking that quickly. Think about it. Yes, he does take the quick tap. Zach Berger now offloading it back across field. It's going to be offloaded back into an awkward space for Mapo, but he is dragged down in the end by it was Ian Henderson. That was the wrong name. It was actually James Ryan. I had the wrong Irish lock, and now it's a knock on from the Bulls there. So now it will be the scrum feed for Leinster. Andrew Porter looking a little bit worse for wear. Looks like he's got a cut. Oh, that looks like it's either a cut just in, or kind of just above or below the eye or on the eye, which does not look very comfortable at all for that man. And I believe it is going to be a blood bin because of that one as well. I'm trying to see exactly where that cut is on Andrew Porter. He's already been able to score himself a try in this game as well. But looking through, just talking about those 2 tries so far for Leinster, they've both been from running rugby. Andrew Porter, oh, it's a head clash there. Just pretty much ate the face of Heinrich Lowe. And the worst thing here is it's almost a head knock that they may go back and have a look at. And it's going to be, the X to the sideline. I believe that means HIA for Andrew Porter, and his eye is swelling up like a balloon at the moment. He's got it just behind it. Or just below it, I should say. And now, speaking of one of those props that I just mentioned, it is going to be Ed Byrne making his way out onto the field for Leinster now. So probably a lot earlier than expected to be out on the field there, Ed Byrne. But he will not be minding it one bit. They are saying that maybe it's a fractured cheekbone for that man, Andrew Porter, which would be a shame to see, definitely this early in the season, as it is only the first game of many of the United Rugby Championship. Leinster would not try this with Satyrs as well, says the girl YouTube. And I guess that's one of those matchups we may never get to see in all of the existence. The only Crusader we get to see when it comes to Leinster is actually Michael Alalatoa, who is starting in the number 3 jersey. He is an ex-Crusaders player. But other than that, we do not really get to see that Northern versus Southern Hemisphere other than on Rugby Challenge 4, which we might have to do a little bit more of in the future as well. But Michael Alalatoa can have his hands full for this one up against Steenkamp. The knee has gone down, so it is going to be once again a scrum reset. But at this stage, 26 minutes gone in this game. It is going quick at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. And Boomfa as well in the chat from Katie Dixon. In terms of that big hit to the face of Porter. Unfortunately, Heinrich Lowe has got quite a solid head, so hitting him in the face is not ideal for you one bit, that is for sure. But at this stage now, it's going to be another scrum reset for Leinster and the Bulls. Currently sitting 27 minutes in, like I mentioned. The game straight after this one is going to be between Munster and the Sharks, and I'm looking forward to that game as well, because we know that the Sharks, they had not the best performance in that Currie Cup final up against the side in the Bulls, but they will be open for redemption. And I also see there is a South African on the bench at Munster with RJ Snyman, who will be getting, or RG Snyman, sorry. That's a beautiful inside ball from Lowe, and now it's going to be McGrath. Break-in tackles as well. He's got Lowe with him. If he needs him, he's still going himself here, McGrath, with an absolutely brilliant run. It's going to be the spin. Josh Dundon Flair, he's down the wing here. It's a forward pass, though. And tell you what, that was almost a counter right for Leinster once again. All of a sudden, they are just, anytime they get that ball and create a line break, they are looking like almost certain to score the try. I think all rugby people would love that match as well, says the girl YouTube. Yeah, it is one of those ones that everyone always asks the question, Leinster versus the Crusaders, who would win? And we never get the opportunity of seeing it. Maybe one day we will get to, but tell you what, McGrath there with a brilliant one, Luke McGrath, and then Josh Flair just wasn't quite able to put that ball back with just that little bit more in the hands of, I believe it was O'Loughlin out on that wing, who wasn't quite able to score that one there. But they've been doing very well, Leinster. Anytime they've had that counter-attacking opportunity, they have been taking it, and they are going to continue to try and do it throughout the later stages of this first half. 12 minutes to go on this one. The ball's going to be 10 meters out from their own line here. And by the looks of it, Looks like they might be setting up for just kicking that one downfield, but tackles made so far, 32 made by the Bulls, 8 missed tackles compared to the 39 made by Leinster, 1 missed tackle. And that's going to be a penalty to the Bulls, so that is best case scenario for them there, because of the fact that they have gone down onto the far side. I believe it was actually Ed Byrne, the man who has just come out on the field, replacing Porter. And because of it now, it does mean, my voice is trying to disappear, it does mean that it will be the Bulls who will be kicking this one for the touchline. But I will mention, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road at the moment to 7,000 subscribers now. That is going to be just into touch, and that is an absolutely brilliant kick downfield there. Your mum was sweet as well, says the girl YouTube. And hopefully you guys did enjoy that little live stream. It was a little bit of one of kind of last minute decision, I guess I should say, for us to bring her on. And yeah, you guys seem to really enjoy it as well. James Lowe, tell you what, did he put the foot on the line there? It was extremely close for James Lowe. He is actually the player that people have said I look the most like, although he has probably still got better hair than me in that regard, because my hair is a bit shocking. But now it will be Bismarck du Plessis once again with this line out throw for the Bulls. They are sitting 35 out at the moment, passing it back. Zach Berger now to Johan Hussein, going to be now Mapo on the outside. David Creel taking the carry there. Oh, player from Leinster, a little bit wobbly on his feet there by the looks of it there, but I think he just lost his balance. Not anything to do with a head knock now. Zach Berger once again going to be passing it back across to Hussein. First receiver. Offloads now. Arnold Borta finding the offload back to Hussein now. Pearson the gap as well. Great tackle there from Michael Allen. Sorry, and straight on the ball. Almost available for Leinster to be able to get the steal. It's going to be Nokia on the 22. They've got the advantage once again here. Zach Berger fires it back. Going out the back line. Mapo with the juggle. He's been able to catch it, though. Almost fell awkwardly on that leg. Berger once again looking for the ball, and we're going back for the penalty. Let's do that again as well, says Katie Dixon for Yes Mum live stream. That's was lots of fun as well, says Katie Dixon. So yeah, hopefully we will be able to do it in the future, although I don't know whether or not it would be as late of a live stream in terms of the time, because I think she was going to go to bed at around maybe 10 or so, and we ended up kind of staying up right till around that kind of 12 mark. So pretty much she went to bed. I ended up cooking food in the kitchen as well, and then from there I was flat out editing for the next one. But yeah, you guys seem to really enjoy that live stream. We just got to get my dad on for one as well. But she actually mentioned after the live stream, I felt bad because she was like, do you think do you think many people unsubscribed from the channel from our live stream? I said, nah, it's all good. It's all good. Even if they did, or I doubt they would have, but even if they did, I am still keen to do another one. And she was, yeah, I think she felt a little bit better after that as well, because she was a little bit worried for kind of her first appearance on the channel. But now it's going to be driving forward here. Bismarck du Plessis at the back, Leinster. The crowd getting behind him as well, trying to get them to defend here. It's going to be hit up once again there by the big man, Heinrich Lowe. And the number 8 jersey, Crawley, trying to crawl his way out of there, or Rawley, I should say, trying to get his way, or Frawley, it's actually Frawley out of all of the ones as well. No, I think he got more subs because of her as well, says Katie Dixon. I think so too. I think a few people were keen on that one. There was only, I think, one guy who was like, why are you not doing the commentary like you did for the last one? But then at the end of the day, like, it was still like something that we haven't done on the channel before. That was a big hit there. Matosh Dumbway now breaking through the tackle. He's got the acceleration, but great low tackle there from O'Loughlin and also Hugo Keenan. Zach Berger now passing it back once again into the hands of Stenkamp. Currently putting phase after phase here for the Bulls. 6 phases so far, up to 7 now. And Ruan Nokia taking that one, and they have only missed the 1 tackle so far, Leinster, so they will be able to continue to do that. The USA versus Spain game for the Sevens, 29 points to the USA and 17 to Spain. That's actually a good effort from Spain in that regard. Yeah, that guy was just being a crab as well, says Katie Dixon, and she was happy. She was happy made made her day as well, and this game over as well, says the girl YouTube. I think she was probably a lot more kind of likely to do it because of the fact that she had actually been drinking a little bit with my dad out in the kitchen watching the rugby between the All Blacks and the Springboks. So I think that did help a little bit in terms of the confidence levels, but she was enjoying it big time. But now it's going to be another advantage here for the Bulls. Mornay Smith getting closer and closer, 10 meters out now. Can they get themselves a try very soon here? Rohan Nokia passing it back. Johan Hussein with a bit of a run. All the Bulls pop back, but it is going to be Mapo. They're up to 15 phases. Offload as well. And Madosh Dumbway backing himself, and he scored the first try of the match for the Bulls. They are back in it, ladies and gentlemen. And what a try it was as well. After phase, about 15 of them, they have finally been able to break through. I will add that one to the Bulls. Try scorer, or there might have been a knock on there. is the call here. So they are just going to be going upstairs to see whether or not, I did see originally they kind of both ran in the same direction, which did cause them to end up almost kind of in that situation of an overlap in that regard. But we will add Madosh Tumbwe is the man who has scored the try, like I mentioned before the game. Remember the name because he is going to be one for the future, Madosh Tumbwe. But they are just checking this one. Johan Horson here. Oh, okay. Whether or not that one, I think it did go backwards off in the end, Heinrich Low, and then it was in the end. Who was that? I believe it was Josh Fundenfly, but he had about 3-on-1 here. Oh. There's a knock on there. The Bulls did not score that try, and they're going to have to take it back. Got a feel for the Bulls there. They put together so many phases. I thought that was their breakthrough moment, but it is going to be a no try, and it does mean now that it will be the opportunity once again for Leinster to be able to have this line out. Shave your mo if the Bulls win as well, says the girl YouTube, and also we have got there this game over as well, says the girl YouTube. I don't think I would because the Bulls haven't been looking too bad in the last little while. But I believe actually they had the advantage today. Yes, they did, the Bulls. So they will have another opportunity on attack after 15 phases. Madosh Tumbwe thought he was going to be able to get himself the first try of this match and the first try of the United Rugby Championship for him as well. But like I mentioned a little bit earlier on, looking through some of the stats in terms of where everyone is sitting on the table at the moment. Normally I have pop-ups on these live streams, as you guys know, but I was running a little bit behind because daylight saving stole an hour that I was going to be using. Racing 92 having a close game with Lion as well, for anyone who is wondering. 24 points for the Racing 92 side, and then Lion scoring 20 at some games so far, says Lorcan O'Reilly. It is indeed Leinster just starting at a frantic pace, scoring 2 early tries with their big forwards. And now, speaking of big forwards, the Bulls, they've dropped the ball. It's a knock on. And now it's going to be another opportunity here. Reece Ruddock's now driving his way forward, just trying to break through all the tackles, and they are going here. It will be Ed Byrne driving. Short side now available for the Leinster side, and it's going to be James Lowe playing halfback, pass at the back once again. Michael Alalato, I believe, his first carry for Leinster in this game so far. A counter ruck there from, I believe it is Bismarck du Plessis. They've got to be careful holding him around the neck, though. Going back once again into the hands of Reece Ruddock. Once again, going back McGrath, and Frawley puts it high. Looks like it's going to be a good challenge in the air here for Leinster on the halfway line. Keenan knocking it back onto the side of the Leinster, but it wasn't there for Arnold Porter. Counter-attacking opportunity here for the Bulls. And it is Johan Orson who was dragged down. Bad mistake from the Bulls. Bad mistake as well, says Lorcan. It was indeed. Unfortunately for them, they need to make sure that anytime they get that opportunity, they are scoring, because or else Leinster, anytime they get the opportunity, they surely are. And this one, and Katie Dixon has also got the ball of the Georgia in the chat as well. Ball's gone as well, says the girl YouTube. It's going to be going very high from Johan Olsen, going about 3 meters forward, almost taken nicely, but instead now it's going to be Johnny Sexton who has got that ball in his hands, going short side once again for McGrath. Almost a draw and pass opportunity for Ed Byrne, straight on the ball for the Bulls. Almost a turnover there. No, able to get it there. Bismarck du Plessis. Alalato, another carry, but straight in there were 2 Bulls players, and it is going to be the penalty for the player leaving his feet. Hello again. I don't think the South African teams is going to do well in the competition, says David Russell as well. It is a big call, but at this stage, the Bulls have been struggling a little bit with Leinster. We did see also a loss. Benetton were able to pick up the win over the Western Province, which was a huge game for them in that regard. Or sorry, the Stormers. I keep on calling them the Western Province. But what I can do, normally, like I mentioned, I would have this pop up here, but because we were running a little bit behind, I will just show you guys on my phone at the moment. You can see the previous results that we have at the Lions. They were able to get the win over Zebre, 38 points to 26. Cardiff winning against Connacht, and also Ulster having a very close game, but taking it up against Glasgow. Then looking down at the moment, Edinburgh and Scarlets are playing at the same time as this game. They are sitting 7 points to 5. Leinster with a good win there, and then, Leinster with a good lead there, and then Benetton winning 22 points to 18 up against the Stormers as well. So normally, like I mentioned, it would be up on the screen, but we are going to be just holding the phone up once again. And you can see here Cardiff leading the group with 5 points. They got the bonus point, but on first equal as well, it is the Lions who are sitting on the 5 points, also receiving that bonus point for 4 or more tries. Ulster sitting on 5 with their win. Benetton sitting on 4, and Glasgow sitting on 2 there, as well as they did receive the losing bonus point. They were able to get 4 tries, which does give them the point. And also they were able to get 7 or less points behind the other side as well there. But now at the back line is going to be Sexton kicking this one downfield for Leinster, looking for the 50-22. Found a huge amount of space behind the defence of the Bulls there. They've got to be careful leaving that much available for Leinster to kick into. And that one's going to be going into touch now with that nice kick downfield from the Bulls. And now on the halfway line, David Creel relatively happy with that one, I would think. But Leinster at this stage, 3 minutes left in this first half. Are they going to be able to get themselves one more in this first half? We will have to wait and see. But I guess I should also mention, while we have got this little stoppage in play, this is not the last game we are going to get to see. Today, we have got the game between Munster and the Sharks that will be kicking off at around 7:35 a.m. New Zealand time. We're going to be covering that game as well. It is currently 6 a.m. here in New Zealand. We are not slowing down, that is for sure. Now it's going to be McGrath going back across to the hands of Sheehan, trying to break the line, looking for the offload, and he does find it as well. Was the number 20, which in this one is Max Deegan. Now breaking the line, McGrath once again. Madosh Dumbway able to nail him in that tackle there, but now still on the side of Leinster, 20 metres out from the line of the Bulls. Step from Frawley, going through the tackles almost, but instead he was dragged down by Stenkamp. McGrath goes back once again. Gonna be Hugo Keenan, bit of a step from it was in the end. The man in number 13, whose name I've forgotten. I feel bad. Gary Ringrose is the name. The ball has been chucked into touch there by Leinster, and now it will be the line out for the Bulls there once again. And Sheehan, he is disappointed with himself. He thought that maybe the pass on the outside was available for the offload, but may have waited just that little bit too long. But great run in the end. We've hit our third yawn of the night, ladies and gentlemen, but I don't think we'll have too many more, hopefully, throughout the later stages of this game. And also the Munster versus Sharks game. This game's been entertaining. It's been fast-paced. It's been a physical encounter as well between these two sides. We expected nothing less between these two sides. But now Bismarck du Plessis going to be thrown in this ball, going to the front here of the lineup for the Bulls. Now it will be Zach Berger passing it across to Marcel Kutzer. And they are currently 10 metres out from their own line. So Zach Berger fires it back to Johan Orson. And he is going to be kicking this one into touch. Not quite finding it, though. Down by the halfway line, it's going to be O'Loughlin now. Driving forward. He's got men on the outside. Decides to take contact. Looked like a grimace there from O'Loughlin when he was tackled by Heinrich Lowe. Straight in there. Mornay Smith almost able to get the turnover. Once again, going to be passing it back to Reese Ruddock. And the Bulls, every time it goes to the breakdown, they are trying to get that one. Johnny Sexton now just putting up the high boot, just putting it up and under. James Lowe chasing it hard. Lot of contact there. James Lowe bouncing off his head. The ball is available. Who's got it? It's a knock on from Leinster, and it will be the knock on advantage. Mapo only a metre short of the line. Currently 40 seconds left until we get to half time here in this game. That was a hidden yawn. I tried to hide it, but it did still come out. There's a difference between how Northern and Southern Hemisphere play as well, says the Gur YouTube. It is indeed, and I feel like by maybe around round 5 or so, the South African sides will really start to kind of feel that style, because I have to say Ireland, in that regard, the way that they play, it's very physical in the forwards, but they also use their back line as well. And I think that they are one of those exceptions that are almost as close as you get to a Southern Hemisphere, Northern Hemisphere side, if that makes sense. Porter back out there as well after his head knock. He is going to be back out there. How much of a mouse under the eye has he got there? Porter, they aren't showing him from the front. They're showing the back. There it is. He's got a little bit of swelling right there, but we have got there. Jonathan has said, are you still awake, mate? Well, crazy. Hello from Siberia again. Says that, Jonathan. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. Yes, we are indeed. It is currently sitting 6 a.m. here in New Zealand. We have not slept yet, but, you know, maybe one day we will. Probably at around 10 a.m. will be when we end up going to sleep. I've yawned a few times. I'm hoping that is all that we are going to have in this one. But at this stage now, Zach Berger going to be putting the scrum feed in for the Bulls here. And it will mean that now it is going to be available for them to kick it into touch. And this will be halftime, ladies and gentlemen. 17 points to Leinster and 3 points to the Bulls. It will take them a few weeks to get used to it, as well, says Lorcan. And also Leinster are the hardest test you can get as well. Definitely off the bat, Leinster are like the top of the grade in terms of those performances from the Northern Hemisphere sides. Like, I absolutely love watching them play because they just play such a seamlessly effortless game, I guess is the best way of describing it for Leinster. They just seem to be able to just pass the ball around and no one can stop them, you know. It's just one of those ones. Like, their forwards do a lot of hard work. I mean, we've seen so far the 2 tries in this match, Josh van der Flair, and also it was Andrew Porter. Oh, I'm not sure where that accent came from, Andrew Porter as well. 5 a.m. here, nice coffee at work, listening to you as well, says Jonathan. So hopefully you have been enjoying the commentary so far, mate. And we have still got one more game after this one. It is going to be Leinster. No, it's not. They are playing. It's going to be Munster taking on the Sharks. Scoreline not looking good for the Bulls, says Tevin. Although I will mention that for the Bulls here in this game, they were sitting 17-0 down after 15 minutes. So from there, they've been able to stop Leinster from being able to get any more points on the board. They have only got themselves 3 points, but they had 2 opportunities that they unfortunately put the ball down only a few inches from the line. But what I will do here is I will get you guys some stats about this match as well. So you know exactly what is happening in that regard. But I'm excited for the second half because the Bulls are very good at fighting back. Also, we have got, next week the Box are going to clap your Kiwis as well. Like hard as well, says Johan. And Bulls have to use the back line if they want to stand a chance, says Johan as well. Yeah, they've got to try and get that ball out the back line. Find those offloads as well is something that anytime it's gone to the breakdown, Leinster are just on them and able to turn it over as well. So they have to make sure that they are working hard in their regard. But speaking about the game between the Springboks and the All Blacks next week, I think if the Springboks improve on their penalties, they have a good chance of beating the All Blacks. We didn't see anything from the All Blacks that looked threatening in that game up against the Springboks, really. They just had too many handling errors and everything along those lines. The game between Edinburgh and also it was Glasgow is actually sitting 19 points to 8 at the moment in that regard. So that is actually a very good score line indeed. But we are looking at some of the stats in this one. Possession, 56% in the favour of the Bulls. 1 clean break for them, but 4 for the Leinster side. And also we have got their defenders beaten, 13 for the, it was 4 Leinster and 4 for the Bulls as well. Offloads they've made 8, but they need a few more number of tackles. They've missed 12. 49 made though, 67 tackles made by Leinster with only missing 4. So they are just absolutely phenomenal. Penalty conceded 9 against Leinster in the first half to the 3 other Bulls as well. So it is going to be very tough indeed. Beware of the Buck next week. Tell you what, mate, you are preaching it to someone who at this stage, I always remain impartial for those games. So it's just one of those ones that if the Box play the better game, I will admit it well and truly. If the All Blacks play the better game, I will say it as well. I just absolutely love watching international rugby. The 100th match, how good was that game in terms of going down to the wire? No one wanted to see a runaway for either sides. Deep down, I think everyone wanted to see it go right down to the wire. And tell you what, if that kicker, Geordie Merritt, missed it, would have gone the way of the Box, which is how close that one was. We have got there to all Shark supporters in the chat. Bring it on as well, says Kana Kuainen. I feel like we're going to have some sort of awesome thing going on for that live stream, mate, for in terms of what if the Sharks get a win. I feel like we need to have some sort of thingy. I need a forfeit as well, perhaps, in that regard, although I feel like I'm back on the wrong side in that regard because it's going to be a tough one. But Leinster have Kiwis like James Lowe into their team. The Bulls are playing with second-rated players because their clubs, their players were bought by French and English clubs as well, says Johan. And at the end of the day, they did commit to going up to the United Rugby Championship. The money is good and kind of elsewhere. So that is why some of those other players have it disappear for them. They've also got players on international duty in that regard as well. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the second half goes as well. Best commentary channel ever in there from Tevin. And I do appreciate that very much, mate. And I mean, the support on these live streams has been just absolutely incredible from you guys. You have been showing up in numbers for these. I know it seems strange saying that for a live stream that we have got in the total of actually, if I kind of do the maths, it is 100 times less people than we had for the All Blacks versus Springboks game. But I enjoy these live streams just as much because of the fact I get to interact with you guys more on a personal level. And also, it's just a lot of fun. We're getting to see new games of rugby that we don't really get to see. Leinster and the Bulls, when was the last time they played? Probably not very recently at all. It really is as well, says Katie Dixon. I want to see Munster versus the Box in my dreams as well. Which Box will be stronger if you think of it in this way as well, says Johan. So I assume you have got Damien Dialende in that number 12 jersey for Munster, or do you put him at 12 for the Springboks? Or do you duplicate him? I mean, if it's in a dream, you're allowed to duplicate a player, surely, in that regard. So maybe, have him on both sides in the number 12. Imagine marking yourself in a game of rugby. How trippy would that be? Because the fact that you'd be like, right, he's going to, I know what movie he likes to do. He likes to do a step here. So I'll already go out that direction and then just well and truly shut him down. Your work ethic is insane, Hamish. We love it as well, says Kana Koinen. And that's the thing. I just absolutely love doing these live streams. They are a huge amount of fun. It's currently 6 a.m. here in New Zealand. It would be 5 a.m. without daylight saving, but we are going to be continuing on through the night as well. We need probably some sleep at some stage. We've almost been up for 24 hours after the next live stream. I even want to do the match between Hawke's Bay and also Taranaki, but that is going to be at around 2. And my brain by then will be scrambled, unfortunately. Kiwi Lads guy, are you from Auckland? I am not. I'm from the South Island of New Zealand. Tell you what, that looks bad at the moment with my hair. I'm going to have to try and hide that. Peeking around the side, looks like I got a bit of a mullet going on there. I'm not a Bulls fan, but they will fight back as well, says Philip. Yeah, it seems like the Bulls in this game, the second half for me is going to be where they really show that kind of South African spirit in the game. We saw it in the game up against the Sharks. They were able to run away with that game. The biggest win margin for a side in a Currie Cup final ever. So they are coming off a massive win there. They need to make sure that they can fight hard in this one. But I believe at this stage we are only moments away from the second half getting back underway. I've just realised that the Leinster and Vodacom Bulls score, it says it's 7-8 on their website, but that is because they haven't taken away that try that was kind of taken, it wasn't taken away because of that drop ball, or actually it was a knock on, sorry. And also Dami Delende and at 12 in red, always red as well, says Gunnar Coyne. And also this league will make South African coaches more professional, and especially the players, because South Africa rucking not up to standard as well, says Mawson. Also in there, into the chat, pissed off big time, mate. Says Luke, what is up, mate? Do let me know. And also we have got there, yes, in your previous live stream, you said you enjoy both large numbers and small numbers on your live streams. And I feel like that is something like, I don't really look at the numbers in terms of, yes, we set new records on the channel every day with those live streams that we have been doing, but I always look at it as if you guys are interacting in the chat, if you guys are chatting along, if you guys are having a good time, more than likely I'm probably having a very good time on the live stream as well. So it's just one of those ones, as long as you guys are still enjoying these, that is more motivating for me than, like, it's going to sound like a bit of a weird stat, but I would rather have 10 people watching who are enjoying it than 1,000 people watching who aren't. And that is just me on a personal level of, I look at it as, I want to make sure that this is the most entertaining and also most engaging kind of commentary that I can do for you guys. Like our live stream that we did for the All Blacks versus the Springboks, I had a whole heap of stuff planned for the start of that one. We had an ex-All Black on the channel as well. I just want to find ways of continuing to evolve the channel in the next few weeks. Fell asleep as well, says it Luke. And also we have got their Sharks lose not today as well, says it Philip. And that's going to be a very good one indeed to watch the Sharks lose next as well, says the girl YouTube. And at this stage, if the Vodacom Bulls cannot win this game, it would be 2 wins for the Pro 14 sides, 1 win for the South Africans. The only side to get the win was the Lions, and they actually finished last in terms of the Currie Cup. That was the Golden Lions rather than the Emirates Lions. In that regard, they will as well. Missed out on the Harlequins win, says it Luke. They did indeed win that game. It's a close one, and another big win in that round of the Gallagher Premiership. Exeter Chiefs, they lost, and it was to Northampton, so that was incredible from Northampton to be able to pull off that upset win. But anyone who is just tuning in now, 2 tries for Leinster in this match so far. Josh Vandenflyer and also it was Andrew Porter, both scoring in the first 12 minutes of this game. And Hamish, brother, speaking of the sketches you showed before, New Zealand versus South Africa, South Africa versus New Zealand, can you do one in which you're Nick Berry and George's Rassie Erasmus, says Sebastian? I feel like that would be a very interesting one. I feel like people would enjoy that. But then also, it would be tough to do in regards of, if we have got South Africans watching, they may not be too happy with it as well. But we'll wait and see. We've got another one hopefully planned for next week. But you guys seem to really enjoy that kind of setup as well, because at the end of the day, that live stream that we did for the Springboks taking on the All Blacks, we did 3 new things at least, I believe, if I'm not wrong, that we haven't done on the channel ever before. We had an interview with an ex-All Black, which was kind of a pre-recorded one. We had our face-to-face, which you guys seem to enjoy as well. That is another one we've never done on the channel. And then we also had an animated lineups, which hopefully you guys did enjoy. I feel like that was probably one of the ones that I was on the fence with the most, because of the fact it probably took us around 20 hours to be able to kind of get that all going, just for it to kind of be a 5-minute thing as well. And basically you have to be a hostage for 10 minutes as well, says Sebastian. And that would not be very fun with George as well. So are you from Auckland? No, I am not. I'm in the South Island of New Zealand. So I guess the easiest way of describing it is, if you know where the Crusaders are located for Super Rugby, they are in Christchurch, and I am a couple hours south of that in that regard. But anyone who is just tuning in now, the Bulls in this one, they've actually had more penalties in their favour. They've had 3 against them compared to the 9 of Leinster. But the tackle stat for me is a huge one here. Missed tackles, 4 for Leinster, 12 for the Bulls. But they did have 49 tackles made by the Bulls and 67 for Leinster. So a 94% tackle success. We don't expect anything different from the mighty men from Ireland. And then also 2 tries scored in that first half. Possession 56% in the favour of the Bull. Clean break, the 4 to the 1 for Leinster, and also 13 to the 4 for defenders beaten for Leinster as well. All South African teams to lose, except the Lions, who was the poorest in the Currie Cup, says Morse as well. And also we have got to show the game in the chat from Luke. And also it was a very great stream, says the girl YouTube. I really enjoyed it in terms of the factor of, like, even before kickoff had happened, I was just loving the fact that you guys, like, I thought I was a little bit concerned because of the fact that that interview with Norm Maxwell, it was around 20 minutes long, and I thought, will people who are watching this kind of get sick of it after a certain while? But I hope that the way that I edited it kind of kept it kind of coming along in terms of the fact that if it kept you engaged and it kept you kind of interested, because that's the thing, like I mentioned, he has said that he will do a member-only Q&A with you guys in the chat. I think I do want to make it, though, that everyone can access a live stream, but it is just the members who can ask the questions to Norm Maxwell, and we will be able to do that in the next couple of weeks as well. So if you are new and you want a chance to ask a question to an ex-All Black, sure to hit that channel member button. I believe I normally have it as the pinned comment, but I think I have forgotten about it, unfortunately, for this one, which means I am just a little bit behind in that regard. But I will mention also, if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as it is hugely appreciated. But we are getting very close to the kickoff once again for the second half. Can the Bulls fight back? That is the huge question on the table here. But I will put in the chat, there is a link to the channel membership if anyone does want to become that channel member. And also, the benefit of that is you do get access to those exclusive emojis, like Sebastian has put there for the South African and the New Zealand emojis. Do you like those emojis, Sebastian? By the way, as well, do let me know. But now we are kicking off for the second half of this match between Leinster and the Bulls. And now it is going to be claimed by Heinrich Lowe off the kickoff, driving up to the 22, as Zach Berger more than likely will be passing this across to a couple of the forwards. Try and get them a few extra meters. I can't actually watch the game, so I have to watch the sevens or something as well, says Luke. And I believe there have been a few interesting results in the sevens. They were only just able to get the win in the match between USA and I believe it was, who were the team that they played? I think they played Brazil. No, it might not have been Brazil, but it was someone who they probably should have beaten relatively easy. That one's going to be a good kick downfield, sitting up nicely here for Johan Olsen. Will be just inside of his own 22. Big kick downfield, finding that touchline. Brilliant kick there from Johan Olsen. And now 25 meters out from their own line now. It will be the Leinster side who have got the line out throw, and it will be the man in the number 2 jersey, Dan Sheehan, who will be able to throw it in. But now we will go here, and hopefully this will start updating itself. I'm going to start kind of doing it every few minutes because of the fact it does update it before the try actually has scored it. It's actually going to be Funsell making his way out on the field. Joe Funsell, and that is replacing Bismarck Duplessis. So that is a big change early on for the Bulls here. We have also got the watching the Kiwi Lad stream. That's good enough for me, brother, as well. Says Sebastian there. And now Leinster driving forward once again with the big forwards. Going to be kicked in behind by McGrath, seeing a bit of space, but Madosh Tambwe. One thing that has let him down in the past is his handling errors, but able to take that one nicely. And David Creel now going to be kicking this one downfield, and he does find touch with that ball, David Creel. So now 45 out from their own line, and they will have the line out. We have got there. Even the Blues would beat the Bulls as well, says the girl YouTube. And I mean, the Blues, they were able to win themselves Super Rugby Trans Tasman, though, which was very impressive. And that regard, it was them versus the Highlanders in the final, which is a very awesome indeed for them in that regard. But nonetheless, at this stage, we're going to have to wait and see. Actually, they've just shown another result, and it is Kenya 35, Chile 5 for the sevens as well, for anyone who is following along with that competition, I should say. McGrath once again going to be firing it back. A little offload. Beautiful set play, looking like it's going to be linking up offload on the inside as well now. And it will be in the hand of Hugo Keenan going short side. Oh, McGrath, it's been dropped cold there by, I believe it was the man in the number 2 jersey, Sheehan, just not quite able to hold that one. And he is slamming the ball on the ground there. Not happy at the moment with the hands. Can you beat Chile 35-5 as well? And there, or was it 38-5? For some reason, mine says 38-5, but that could be wrong in that regard. But 35-5, decent score there for Kenya. They were actually in the final up against South Africa. Hong Kong and Mexico are there as well. Says that, look, they are indeed, because of the fact that Fiji, Argentina, New Zealand, also France, and there is one other team as well that I have missed. Did I say New Zealand? I think I did, and I said Australia. But yeah, there are 5 teams that are missing in that competition, which is why they have decided to go with a few of these other teams. And I am actually pretty happy for some of those sides, because of the fact we don't really get to see them too often get a chance. And Hong Kong actually pushed, I think it was the USA or Ireland in one of their games. It was an impressive one there. But now at this stage, it is going to be Leinster. No, it's going to be the free kick now for the Bulls. Pre-engaging is the call there. 43 minutes into this game, and at this stage, it is sitting 17 points to 3 in this one. And they have decided to go with the scrum once again. Michael Alatoa just asking the question there. He is up against a very tough scrummager in Gerhard Stenkamp, and it would have been a wee while since he had scrummaged up against him, probably back in the Super Rugby days as the last time we got to see that one. But now at this stage, it will be another scrum feed. 40 meters out from their own line here for the Vodacom Bulls. Can they get themselves an early try in the second half? If they can, They are not out of this match yet. Nah, Spain pushed America as well. That is the team, actually, Spain, rather than, I think I said Brazil, but it was Spain who did have a decent game up against America, which is an interesting one. America's been struggling just that little bit in recent times for the Sevens as well. Now I'm going to be driving forward once again. Have gone down on the front row, and it's a penalty to Leinster now. And they have been able to turn that one around and have been able to turn it into a penalty rather than the free kick. Very nicely done there. At this stage, Mornay Smithy is not too happy, and we have got there Canada and Hong Kong are playing as well. And at the chat, so hopefully that is a good game. But Canada are one of those sides that could be doing very decently indeed, depending on how it goes there. But now they are just showing that scrum once again, going down on the front row on the near side of the referee as well. Would have been between, I believe, Porter and also it was a Mornay Smith who just wasn't quite able to get the go in that regard there. Going to the front once again, going to be claimed there by a James Ryan. Looking for a little bit of a rolling maul situation here for Leinster. They're very strong when they get the opportunity to go forward. And Josh Van den Flower breaking off the back now. Dragged down by the Vodacom Bulls, only about 10 metres out from the line now. And Leinster once again got an attacking opportunity. Never onside is the call, so it's going to be a penalty advantage for the Leinster side. Once again, Alatoa getting the carry. Around the side looks like Reece Ruddock. Going to be taken on the contact here. Very nicely done by by Leinster to keep on hitting that ball up. I feel like that's a mistake that you're not allowed to make, is it? Accidentally calling them by the wrong name there. But now, once again, it's going to be available for Leinster to just keep on putting the phases together. And see, they're going short side. This is a beautiful set play around the outside. James Lowe close to the touchline, but Cornell Hendricks has been able to drag him down there as well. Another big step there from it was Van den Floer. No, it is going to be going back for the penalty now. Now they are sitting 17 points to 3 up. They will be trying to chase that bonus point, I would think, more than likely, so they may consider kicking this one for the corner here for Leinster. And Johnny Sexton, he's got a smile on his face. He will be loving the scoreline at the moment. He has been able to score himself a few points in the early stages of this one, kicking 3 from 3 so far off the kicking tee, and he will be hoping to continue that through the second half as well. They have got the option off the bench as well of Ross Byrne. At some stage, they may decide to go to also Jamie Osborne and Jameson Gibson Park as another option there for Leinster. Going to the front once again, going to be the rolling maul, setting up nicely. James Lowe, I believe, actually has this ball in there going down, and it's a try for James Lowe, and it is the third one of the match now for Leinster, and they are only going to be one away. No, it's a knock-on. It's a knock-on from James Lowe. I thought it was going to be the try, but instead it has ended up going back for the no try there, and it does mean now that it is going to be the opportunity once again. If not, it's a 5-meter scrum. They are going to be going upstairs, but I believe it is a knock-on here, so it would be a 5-meter scrum in the favour of the Bulls. Yeah, did drop that ball there, James Lowe, so that is going to be a no try. I thought he was able to break through. I know, not a knock on as well, says Katie Dixon. And unfortunately for him, he's still got a smile on his face, James Lowe, even though he did put that one down. And shocking rugby in the sevens as well, says Luke. Although if it is Hong Kong versus Mexico, I feel like there is probably a little bit of a difference in terms of that skill level compared to some of those other sides that we do get to see a little bit more often. Likes of a Fiji or an Australia, or in this example, Ireland. And also it is the other option of, I guess, South Africa are another team to shout out because they were able to win the last sevens competition as well. Andrew Porter lining up with Mornay Smith in the front row once again for the scrum. And those two just go at each other throughout this whole match. And I don't expect it to be any different until they decide to take someone off the field, that is. Zach Berger puts the ball in now into the breakdown. It's available here. Good push there from the Bulls. The front row's popping up, and it's a penalty to the Bulls. So once again, when they're 5 meters out from their line, they've been able to do a big push, and that is a big man indeed. And that is Janko Swanepoel, I believe, who is out on the field now. Actually, that's not Janko Swanepoel. I believe it is actually a different fellow. That is actually Janko Swanepoel. If I'm not wrong, is that him? I'm not sure. I feel like there was actually a different guy there. USA soon be a good team, bro, as well, says the girl YouTube as well. And that is for, of course, the MLR. It's firing up in America at the moment. Hopefully it continues to become just a better and better and better competition through all of these ones, because we've got some of those sevens players, whether or not they decide to switch to Union when the Sevens circuit is over, because we've got about 3 months now where the sevens will be kind of off up until maybe around December or maybe a couple months. So do they decide to try and transition to Union for the game up against the All Blacks? Perhaps great step there, and he's breaking through. Sheehan pinning the ears back as well, trying to find the offload. And it's on the hands of Ruddock once again. Available for Leinster, going to be about 20 metres out now, or 30, I should say. James Lowe, offload on the inside. Got a run there from Gary Ringrose. Running it forward there once again. Offload it back from McGrath. Rushing up there was the defence of the Bulls. He's fallen over the ball. Almost ended up giving away the penalty. Marcel Coetzee passing it back once again here. James Lowe looking on the outside. Not quite able to link up there, unfortunately, for him. Now a short side once again. Ruddock trying to break off the back for Leinster, trying to get themselves that one try that will get them closer and closer to that bonus point. 49 minutes into this game as well. Almost stolen there by a Fun and Saddle, but wasn't quite able to get it. Fun Saddle is the name, actually. Andrew Porter now driving for the battle with Mornay Smith. Does continue now. It's going back once again. Ringrose ducks under the tackle, looking for the offload. Not able to find it. Almost hyperextended his knee there, which looked very painful. Oh, did he stay down? No, he is getting up there. Gary Ringrose by the looks of it. Going to be once again hit up by the big forwards at Leinster, driving themselves forward. They're up to 10 phases at the moment, and they are continuing to build here. Alatoa getting the carry. Can they get themselves a try? Good defense so far from the Bulls, but now it's starting to break open, and it will be available short side into the hands of their number 20, I should say, there, Max Deegan. It's an advantage, and it's led them down. That ball's been dropped as well, and it's a penalty. More people are over there getting into the game as well. So the YouTube, and also we have got there Hong Kong. Could be scared. Tell you what, this one's going very quick at the moment. James Lowe taking the quick tap, but we'll come back to the chat in a very short moment. Getting extremely close now. Leinster a metre short, and it's a penalty to the Bulls as well. No, Hong Kong as well. Could have scored, but they lose the ball, and Canada go the length to score as well. I take back my comment about the sevens. I'm sitting here watching every game and winning a ton of money on handicaps because it's a very tournament to predict as well, says Big Houseborn, and also Adam Ashley Cooper now coaching the Guillotines rugby in LA. I didn't actually realize that he had retired from playing and now he's coaching. What about Matt Giddo? Is he still playing for them? Katie Dixon, do let me know. That is a big kick downfield from the Bulls, and what a time to win a penalty for in the breakdown. Who was it in the end? I believe was actually Johan Hulsen was able to get on that ball there, and the chat from Katie Dixon there as well. But now sitting 30 metres out from their own line here, the Bulls are very easy as well as this big sport for the change, but it is going to be now Sheehan coming off the field, and it is going to be James Tracy who will be replacing him. But Sheehan having a very good game so far. Had a couple mistakes early on, but really fixed them in the later stages and was almost able to pick himself up a try as well throughout this one. So we have only had try scorers in the four pack so far, and they have both been in the Leinster four pack as well. And it is also going to be the change here. It will be Jacques van Rooyen making his way out onto the field, and that is going to be Stenkamp coming off the field there. Matt Giddo retired after Guillotines won the MLR final as well. So they've actually lost both of the Australian players that I knew that they had, which is rather unfortunate. Although, of course, Adam Ashley Cooper in that kind of coaching staff is still relatively there, but now it's going to be going back once again to the hands of the number 20, and it's also going to be Borta coming off the field, and that is going to be Duplessis coming out there. So they've actually made a few changes to their bench, the Bulls, since announcing their squad. By the looks of it, Hong Kong look quality as well, says a big sport. And they've had a few games that have been close. I believe they had a close game with the USA in last week's games in Toronto. And I'm excited to see what they can do going forward. James Lowe taking that one beautifully in the air. Cornell Hendricks able to make that tackle on him, currently 45 metres out from the line now. Alatoa once again getting the carry. He must not be too far away from getting replaced by the big forwards in the front row for the replacements. Healy is one who will be the option. USA have been terrible as well, says a big sport. Yeah, they've been struggling. I saw that they only just beat Spain in a result just before, which does make it very tough for them. David Creel now breaking a tackle now, trying to break his way through. Almost ended up dropping that ball, but breaking off once again. It looked like an awkward fall there, and it is a knock-on, unfortunately, for the Bulls once again. Too many handling errors throughout these stages of the match. Mapo, they are showing at the moment, hasn't really had too many opportunities. But yeah, just dropped there by their number 20 years. And actually, Yanko Swanepoel, I don't believe. But it ended up just breaking free, and it did go down. It's going to be now Jamison Gibson Park making his way out onto the field for Leinster, replacing the man in the number 9, Jesse McGrath, who's been doing very well indeed. SoFi Stadium is going to have way more rugby in 2022, as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got there, that will be SoFlo Rugby, I believe. Oh, no, sorry, that is SoFi Stadium. He's going to have more rugby 2022. And also, no Perry Baker or Carlin Isles. They look shocking as well. Says a big ass ball, because I guess that is two of their pacey men that they have now lost in that regard. So I'm wondering who everyone's going to have for the Dubai leg that we are going to get to see in December, day after my birthday, I believe it has taken place, those ones. I'll be here for the SoFi, be there at SoFi, SoFi in the next LA Sevens, Katie Dixon USA Sevens. Always give my media a cred, which is awesome as well. Says a big ass ball, but now at this stage, it is going to be Jamison Gibson Park feeding this ball in for Leinster. It's first opportunity with ball in hand of this match so far, and I'm feeling like a set play could be coming here for Leinster, and they are going to be driving forward with a massive push there. Deegan at the back. It's gone up in the front row, though, so they are going to have a scrum reset, but it looked like maybe they were really setting up for something big there if they did get the opportunity. Leinster, they're just inside of the half of the Bulls. They're in a good position on the field as well to be able to get it going, but Andrew Porter, he's also been able to score himself a try in this game, and he is looking like a man who has been through a bit of a battle. He's got the black eye almost forming for him because of the fact that he had a massive hit with the face of Heinrich Lowe earlier on in this game. I will quickly update that. It is up to 53 minutes now into this game, and it is going to be another scrum for Leinster. Jamison Gibson Park meters carried at the moment. They are shown that they've had 160 for Leinster compared to the 442 of the Bulls, but that does not matter because of the fact that the scoreline is saying 17 points to Leinster and 3 to the Bulls, and that is going to be a quick tap taken there for Leinster for the free kick. Breaking off the back once again, and it's a great opportunity. Ruddock, man on the outside. Great hands from Frawley now, and they are going to be linking up Gary Ringrose. Only 5 metres out, Mapo dragging him down, and Leinster once again on attack. Jamison Gibson Park now offloading the ball. It's going to be the replacement, James Tracy. Getting that carry. Gibson Park once again offloads, and now Michael Alalatai getting close to the line. Only about 5 or 3 meters short now. Gibson Park once again offloading it back once again for Leinster to keep on putting phase after phase. It looks like they will use James Tracy once again, breaking off the side. Good defense from the Bulls, though, to be able to stop them, but they need to make sure that they don't give away a penalty. Michael Alalatoa trying to get that leg drive going once again. It will be phase after phase for Leinster. Just a few meters out from the line now. They're only 1 meter out. Who is going to be able to get it? It's popped out on the side of the Bulls, and it's a counter-attacking opportunity now. And using the back line, Madosh Dumbway putting the ears back. He's been able to throw that one almost back on the inside, but it's gone into the hands of Johnny Sexton, who will now go for the chip in behind, and there's a chip and chase available for Sexton, taken there by Marcel Kutz, who will just drive at the defense of Leinster. This game's starting to speed up, though it is that big question of who will be able to keep up with this pace. Leinster, they have still got a couple more subs to make. The Bulls, though, this will be pushing them to the limit, but normally in the last 20 it is when the Bulls really shine in a game. So 15 minutes left in this one. It could be their opportunity, or actually it's 25. And in their regard, it's going close to the touchline. No, out on the full. And unfortunately there, which does now mean that I've taken it quickly here. Oh, it's a little bit high, and that's going to be a penalty against Harold Forster on an advantage anyway, and it is going to be blown as a penalty, a high shot. So now they will be kicking for the corner. Live stream from SoFi as well. Says that Katie Dixon there. 56 minutes into this one. Cornell Hendricks just a little bit too far into touch there. So that is why we decided to go back. And it was going to be taken quickly as well by Leinster, trying to keep that fast pace going. So both sides really testing the gas tank of their opponents in this one. But Johnny Sexton, he is down. That is not good because of the fact that, of course, Johnny Sexton, he's only come back from injury not that long ago, I believe, if I'm not wrong. He missed quite a bit of the Champions Cup, but yeah, just a little bit high from Harold Forster there, which is why it is going to be going back for the penalty to Leinster. Now, they could take the 3. We'll give them a 20 point to 3 lead. But is it worth it? They want to chase that bonus point more than likely. They want to be able to say that they have got that 5 to catch up with the Lions. And also, I believe it is actually Cardiff, who are also sitting on the 5 at the moment. But Dosh Dunway lost his footing there. They are shown just before, and then Johnny Sexton taking that one. I believe it was when he kicked this ball that he had a little bit of trouble there. It was kind of Zach Berger going for him, and then he got straight back up to the feet. But he looks like he is going to be going off the field now, Johnny Sexton, if I'm not wrong there. So it is going to be, instead of him being out there. Oh, no, he's staying out there. Good, fair play to Johnny Sexton. I thought with the option of Ross Byrne off the bench that maybe they would decide it's not worth risking him if he has got a little bit of an injury, but now they are going to be kicking it for the corner once again here for the side from Ireland for this one. Leinster going for the corner. It's a good kick as well. 5 meters out now. What can they do? Can they get this rolling more going? James Tracy, he will be waiting for it. He will be throwing this one in. And then joining the back there, he's almost got a little bit of a black eye forming as well. James Tracy. Andrew Porter has whispered what the plan is for this line-out drive. And you know it's a drive. You know it's coming. And, they were trying to stop it. Unfortunately for them, got it a little bit wrong. And that is because of the little bit of a mismatch in the line-out. And now Jay driving forward. Who's got it in the back? Is it going to be a try? Yes, it is. And you know who it is. It is going to be the man in the number 16 jersey, James Tracy. Hasn't been able to score it. And I did say that maybe he'd be lurking at the back of that one, wanting that line-out drive. And that is exactly what Leinster have been able to do there. We will add that name down. James Tracy, the man who was able to score it, just looked well set. It was almost stolen by the Bulls in that line-out, but unfortunately ended up juggling the ball, and then it went straight on the side of Leinster, where it was at their number 6 for this one, Ruddock, who was just waiting for it. James Tracy scoring that one now. And it does mean that they are only one try away now, Leinster, from being able to secure themselves that bonus point, but it will be once again Johnny Sexton, currently sitting 100% so far tonight, 3 from 3. Until next week, mate, as well. Thanks for your great work as well, says the Girl YouTube. No worries, mate. See you later. And hopefully you did enjoy all of the live streams that we have been doing on the channel today. And there are plenty more coming, that is for sure. And we have got try on the chat from Katie Dixon there as well. But it's currently 58 minutes into this game. And Leinster are going to have themselves not just a 19-point lead, but at this stage, they might be able to turn it into a 21-point lead, which will be very hard for the Bulls to catch, as it is 3 converter tries and just over 20 minutes left in this game. We are currently waiting for this kick to take place from Johnny Sexton, taking his time at AVIVA Stadium. So it is a great home atmosphere for Leinster to have their first game of the United Rugby Championship. He's got it straight down the middle as well, Johnny Sexton. So now the score is going to be 24 points to Leinster and 3 to the Bulls. Now it's starting to look like a little bit of a runaway here. The Bulls, are they going to be left tryless in their first game of the United Rugby Championship? You'd hate to see they were so close to scoring earlier on with Cornell Hendricks. And also they had a try for Madosh Tambwe, but it was taken back because of the knock-on. So just little mistakes for the Bulls have been costing them a little bit throughout this competition here. But Johnny Sexton, he is now off the field and he is getting some ice on that calf, I believe it is. But Ross Byrne out on the field now for Leinster, taken nicely there by Jamison Gibson Park. He has kicked it downfield. That is quite a long boot as well. Going to be close to the touchline. David Creel takes it now, firing it back across field. Looks like it will be Christopher Smith now out on the field as well for their Bulls. Taken nicely by James Lowe. The referee has been tackled there by the number 20. He decided that it was worth a crack there. And decided that he was one of those players. Or he was wearing blue. Or he was wearing green, I should say, rather than the blue. But the referee is going to be going back for the penalty. And obstruction is the call there. I don't believe it is the obstruction on the ref. But that was a good shot as well. The ref took it like a champ there for that tackle. I kind of need to see this in the replay. I'm not sure how this situation happened the way that it did, but 21 Jamison Gibson Park penalised there for Leinster. Surely we're going to get a replay of that big hit from Van Rooyen out on the field. Or sorry, it was actually Janko Swanepoel, I believe, who made that tackle there, but David Creel now going to be kicking this one for the corner. There's a good kick as well, going to be about 10 metres out here, and they will have the line-out opportunity here for Leinster, or sorry, for the Bulls in this one there. They are showing there, Cian Healy. He has made his way out onto the field now. He is a very dangerous player. So that was replacing Michael Alalatoa. And this one, they are showing the man in the number 20 jersey for the Bulls. They did tackle the ref. They haven't actually shown a replay, though, which is interesting there. But now it will be Joe Funsdale going to the front, taken nicely there by Janko Swanepoel. And now trying to get the march going forward here for the Bulls. They have been told to use it once already. That was very quick indeed for them to be sitting still. But Funsdale trying to get it going forward. They have been told to use it now. I believe they will be allowed to go forward just a little bit more. And they are going to be sitting about 7 metres out here. The Bulls close to the far side. Going to be offloading it back. It is going to be now Martin Zimmer getting the carry there. 5 metres out now for the Bulls. Can they get themselves their first try of the match? Around the side, Janko Swanepoel once again gets a carry. He's in their big forwards here. Van Rooyen getting his first carry of this match as well. So all of the replacements at the moment are just running hard at the line. That is for sure. Yeah, let's go there. I assume you believe you've already won the World Cup as well. Says Kara going in the chat there. But now going to be 10 metres out available for them once again. Matanzima passes it off now on Rick Lowe, getting closer and closer. Leinster have been good with their defence. Only a few minutes out from their line throughout this game, and straight on the ball, Ruddock. Has he got that one? Yes, he does indeed. And it's the penalty to Leinster once again. Their goal line defence has been phenomenal throughout this one. Hamish, go to bed as well. Says Isaac, what are you doing up, Isaac? At this time is my bigger question, I guess I could say, in that regard. But welcome in, mate. Do you want to join me for the live stream, depending on what you're doing? Although you're probably sleeping, I would think, more than likely. You want to join me for one that has taken place at around 9:40 or so. Oh, no, actually, that is the end of the second live stream, I should say, as well. But yeah, what you up to? What are you doing up at 6:37 a.m. here in New Zealand? Or really, it's 5:37 as well, so even closer to the middle of the night. Do let me know. But that was very nicely done by Reece Ruddock there to be able to get that one on. We have got there. We have already won the World Cup. On the side note, I came back to the stream to say I'm scared for Mexico. They are now going up against the South Africans as well, says BKR Sport. It's going to be tough for anyone who is playing the South Africans because of the fact they were able to win that last one. But Mexico, they aren't really known for their sevens, I wouldn't say, but it is awesome that they are going to be getting that opportunity as well. And Hi FM as well. I just woke up but was bored of sleeping as well, says Isaac Williams. And at the end of the day, we have not slept yet on this channel. We are probably getting relatively close, but I think I am going to be covering the next game that has taken place as well. That one's gone too far from the kick, and they are going right back to where it was taken. Hi, Katie, as well. And he has no idea, does he, as well? Says Kana Koinen. And also at this stage, it is going to be 63 minutes into this game. And I am just still wondering. I see Johnny Sexton. He's got some ice on the calf. I really hope that he is not going to be in that situation of being out for any more time. He's only just come back from experience. It'll be a priceless learning experience, says Katie Dixon. Exactly right. And it is one of those ones. I know this is an interesting reference, and I know it's probably going to get slammed a little bit, but the All Blacks playing Tonga, like some of those Tongan players said, like they are never going to get the opportunity to play the All Blacks again. Those guys at club level, the likes of a Duke Nini or someone along those lines, they probably aren't going to get the chance to play the All Blacks for a very long time, if ever. So they were just saying how much of an awesome experience it is to be able to go from playing club level rugby to all of a sudden taking on one of the better teams in the world as well. And I guess that's the kind of same thing with Mexico for the rugby sevens. They will be learning from this opportunity, and also maybe if it inspires a couple of the younger Mexican players who were trying to decide whether or not to go down the rugby path, if they see them at the kind of Olympic sevens, or not the Olympic sevens, sorry, but just the sevens, maybe if they look at them and go, I could do that one day, it could be very good for the next generation of Mexican sevens players. It's a big scrum from Leinster, and they've won the penalty. And we have what's got there. Johnny Sexton got the Tom Brady mentality. He's going to be playing until he's 40 years long as his spinal cord holds up as well, says Katie Dixon. And also we have got the Kieran and the Billy emoji in the chat from Katie Dixon. But I do have to say, Isaac, I believe people did enjoy your emoji for the South Africa and New Zealand one, and also the overlays and everything that we did have for the other live stream. The only thing that let us down was the connection. Unfortunately, the one live stream, the only live stream that I have had in the past couple of months that has had kind of connection issues that it shows me up there, it was this one between the Springboks and the All Blacks. So I'm not sure whether or not it was something to do with the weather, because we have had a little bit of a stormy situation lately here in New Zealand. It was actually bucketing down maybe about 2 hours ago for about 3 seconds, and then it stopped. So it was an interesting one indeed. He's 6 toy to me, Kate, as well, says Kana Koinen. And at this stage now, he's going to be going to the front once again here. Nice little step there. Jamison Park straight through. Oh, it's been dropped though by Ed Byrne in the end. It was a good opportunity for Leinster to be able to push their way towards the bonus point. I think anything less than the bonus point here, they will be disappointed with Leinster, because they have been able to have such a dominant game at times throughout this one as well. Good Lord as well, says Katie Dixon. But now it's going to be rolled back, and it will be Keegan Johannes who will be putting this one high. So it was Zach Burger who was replaced by Johannes there, taken by James Lowe once again. Passing it back across field. It's going to be Ed Byrne now with a bit of a step. That's a lie. It's Hugo Keenan who was getting the carry there. Now it's Ed Byrne. It's not his name. It's Ross Byrne, ladies and gentlemen. But now that one's gone out on the full there from Ross Byrne, unfortunately for him. Which is not ideal one, but good Lord as well, says that Katie Dixon. And they're taken quickly by the Bulls. They know that they've got to play this game at a fast tempo. Whether or not they can get themselves a bonus point for being 7 or less behind, they would have to score 2 tries in the next 15 minutes. Great cutout pass there out of the hands of Cornell Hendricks. He's got the man leaping around. It's going to be on Rick Lowe, driving hard at the line, but he's going to be put into touch by the Leinster defence. Of the crowd absolutely love that one as well. That's much I like to diss the Leinster fan base as well. I call them the Smurfs as their comedic in blue as well, says Karakoinen, and I'm sure they absolutely love that. More than likely coming from a Munster supporter, as well there. And you will be absolutely buzzing for that next match. It is going to be kicking off in less than an hour's time. We are going to get to see Munster taking on the Sharks, and I'm hoping that the Sharks have a little bit of a closer game than the Bulls at this stage. I know that you will want to see Munster run away with it, but surely you just want to see a few tries from the Sharks, maybe Karakoinen? Probably not, but we'll see how it goes. But James Lowe at the moment, he's got a bad limp there. That looks pretty serious for James Lowe. He looked like he was going to try and walk it off. Hopefully it is just a little bit of a stinger and it'll be all good to go. Your creativity is a legendary, mate, as well, says Katie Dixon there. I mean, it's a good advertisement at the moment for World Sports Betting on their buttocks of a Keegan Johannes. They were just showing a zoom in of for the camera, but now it's going to be going to the back once again. Tracy, the man who was able to score the try. All tries so far being scored by forwards for Leinster. And the back line has quite been able to get themselves one yet, and now it's going to be kicked downfield by Leinster once again, looking for the touchline. Brilliant kick downfield there, relieving any pressure that they had there. But James Lowe still kind of hopping around. He doesn't look too comfortable at the moment. They have still got the option, I believe, of Jamie Osborne, which I would think wouldn't be too far away with him struggling out on the field. You don't want to risk him in this early stage. So he kicked that one. Whether or not it was in the kick, but I think it is a little bit of a hamstring or maybe a calf strain for that man there. And like they are saying, they have got Jamie Osborne off the bench, so maybe they should really try their best to use him here. And I try my best. I've had years of putting up with them and their success and their sheer arrogance as well, says Karakoinen. So, yeah, I feel like that Munster versus Leinster game, when it does come around the corner, is going to be a very awesome one indeed. That is probably the match that I will 100% be buying a pass to the United Rugby Championship website to be able to watch it. It's going to be dropped by Mapo. A knock on there, and once again now, Van den Flyer kicking it in behind the big man. Almost able to get that one. It's going to be a double knock on there. Everyone's just diving at the ball here, and it's going to be going for the scrum the way of the Bulls here. There was a knock on the ground as a call there, but Josh Van den Fleur, he's been working hard in this game. He was able to score the first try of the match. I saw the highlight this afternoon. It is the worst I've seen the All Blacks played. Definitely not their full potential Springboks. And for a big surprise, with the next encounter as well, says David Russell. Yeah, the All Blacks, they had, I believe it's 15 handling errors in that game. The Springboks, they gave away 16 penalties. So I'm wondering, it's really going to be a battle of who can cut down on the mistakes that they made the best for that second game. And I said it a little bit earlier on as well. In a way, I consider this game, even though it was the 100th, I consider it as a bit of a prelim for the big match next week when we do get to see both sides. They've had their little bit of time to feel each other out, work out what works, what doesn't, and a lot of what doesn't, to be fair there as well. So it is going to be in that situation of hopefully we do get to see a very close game again, and it's going to be a good one now. It is going to be a Stedman Jans making his way out onto the field there for Mapo, and also there was a change, and it is going to be Ryan Baird making his way out there for James Ryan as well. Bulls have to use the back line like the Kiwis do as well, says Johan, and yeah, at this stage they have been struggling to continue finding that ball out the back line. Leinster defence, they haven't missed too many tackles, but the Bulls, for me, this is probably one of those ones that this game didn't go their way, but they will be hoping that in their future games, they can really start to use their backline, like you mentioned, and try and get it going as well. Where will everyone be celebrating the Wallabies 2023 World Cup win? Is a good question. 2023 is a long way away as well, a couple years, but I'm sure it will fly by, and the World Cup will be here probably tomorrow, to be fair, the way that it will be feeling. Tell you what, my eye's looking a little bit bloodshot at the moment. That is not ideal. It's 35-0 to South Africa halftime as well, so that is a solid start to the match for Mexico. But like I mentioned a little bit earlier on, it's all about getting eyes on the sport into these countries that they don't really have too much access to them, I guess you could say, because I haven't heard of too many. I don't know, do Mexico have any chance of getting a rugby 15 team together at some stage and trying to join maybe a little bit of a Northern Hemisphere thingy? I don't think it will be the case, or a more North American thingy, I should say. Going back downfield now, big kick, and it's going to be taken nicely by Jamison Gibson Park, just on the 22 now, passing it back across to the new man on the field. Sells the dummy, does it beautifully, Jamie Osborne. No, it was actually Frawley once again getting the carry. He's impressed me in that number 17 jersey, I should say, as well, putting some shrimps on the barbie and drinking some Fosters and eating some legendary Vegemite as well. And it's about filling my bank account up with these ludicrously easy handicaps as well, says Big Osborne. And also the Bulls should steal Scott Robertson to teach him how to use the back line as well, says Johan, and I believe at this stage, Scott Robertson, he's one of those guys. I'll tell you what, we're going to have to go back to that because I believe Leinster have got a beautiful attacking opportunity here. Jameson Gibson Park offloads it now. Josh Vandenfleur now breaking the line. It's a great step from Gary Ringrose on the outside now, and it will be Ross Byrne who scores the bonus point try for Leinster, and that has put the nail on the coffin there for the Bulls. Unfortunately for them, they haven't been able to stop Leinster from getting themselves that bonus point try. The first back of the match to score a try, and it was Ross Byrne to be able to do so. We will add that one right there to the list at this stage. Doing it very nicely indeed. He has only just come off the bench not that long ago, Ross Byrne, but it was taken by Jameson Gibson Park. And then from there, Frawley with a brilliant run, just getting them back up to the halfway line where they can really start that attacking move. And that is exactly what they did indeed. We will go like this, and we will go like this in the 70th minute. The fourth try of the match for Leinster. And this score is starting to look like a little bit of a runaway there. We have got there in there Leinster on the Bulls as well, says Johan, and the Bulls should steal Scott Robertson. But going back to that one, I know that people are keen for him to coach the Northern Hemisphere side overall, because people have said that he's done all that he can do with the Crusaders, and he has just had an incredible record there. So maybe he will look at transitioning maybe to England. I know was one place that people were saying that he should go for coaching, but we'll have to wait and see what it tries. Well, says Lorcan, it was very nicely done, and it's something that Leinster have done very well throughout this match as well. Is it just that kind of factor of being able to get back to back kind of passes, phases together as well. They made that out of almost nothing. Ross Byrne with a great kick downfield, and now, kick at the post. So now it's going to be 31 points to the 3. But just being able to go from an attacking or kind of a defending opportunity inside of your own 22 to run the ball out to halfway, and then from there just keep on offloading that ball, keep it moving, and then Vandenfleur in the end with the offload as well into the hands of Ross Byrne, who was able to score. Yeah, brilliant try as well, says Johan. And also we have got there Imagine Razor in the Northern Hemisphere. Tell you what, but you're sight to see, because everyone has said as well, he has done a lot with the Crusaders, but the Crusaders, they are going to be a world-class team to kind of regardless on who they have as their coach, just with the amount of depth and the players that they have got. So they want to see him in a side that aren't going to be top of that table, see how he can do in terms of developing them. And that was George's point anyway, because the fact that George is a Crusader supporter through and through, and even he said that he has had a little bit easier razor because of the talent of those Crusaders players. David Creel now breaking the line. He's had a pretty decent game so far. David Creel still trying to drive forward, but Leinster wrestling to the ground once again. It's going to be Keegan Johannes, passes back now. It's going to be in the hands of Matanzima. Once again, getting the carry. Keegan Johannes goes back to Chris Smith. Can the Bulls get themselves one try in this game? They will be wanting to, but they just haven't quite been able to get over the try line. They've had about one or two cancelled out tries so far. And also we have the BKR didn't budge as well. Saliso, I should be able to say that name, but I don't think I'm going to be able to experiment not working this time as well. Says Kanakoinen. Now going back once again, Keegan Johannes gives it to Chris Smith, passing it back out the back line, rush defense on David Creel by Gary Ringrose, knock on as well from the Bulls. And it does cost them big time there, unfortunately. Yeah, what's got there? Damn, in the chat, although I did just read that one. But at this stage, this scoreline is almost making me think damn as well, because I thought this one was going to be a little bit closer. I said Leinster by 15, and I felt bad. Social experiment. Okay, that was making a lot more sense, because I was trying to work out how to kind of translate that into that sentence that we have got there. You know how much I suffer from headaches when the Box and Bulls play bad, and you Kiwis always have matches as music to your ears because your teams don't lose as well, says Johan. And it's just one of those ones. I am probably, in that regard, I am always straight down the middle for my rugby commentary, or somewhat straight down the middle. So I guess it's one of those ones as well that I probably don't, like, I don't get onto social media and kind of rip a team apart if they end up losing a game or anything like that. I see everyone on social media does it, unfortunately, in that regard, just ending up really just going at teams. But yeah, pretty much, I just love watching for rugby for the rugby that we got. And hopefully, I mean, the Springboks, they only lost that game by 2 points. They have got an easy ability of being able to kind of transition the game. It's a long time since we've seen 3 in a row for the Springboks, but there's a reason for that. And that's because if they end up losing a couple games to Springboks, they will always fight back. And we are just waiting for that big fight back that we will get to see in a very short moment, hopefully next week as well. But now it's going to be going forward once again. It's going to be Frawley, man on the outside, linking up now nicely with O'Loughlin. Ball on the inside, put down in the end, though, unfortunately for him. It's almost going to be another try for Leinster around the side there, piercing the gap there. It was Harold Forster driving for now. Heinrich Low once again trying to get a few extra meters for the Bulls. They want one try in this game. Go Bok as well, says Johanna. The Bulls are just as stereotyped as the Springboks. It's easy to read South African teams. There is no difference. It's like blueprint, the way we play as well. Says David Russell. Now it's going to be going back to Hans once again, linking up with the man on the outside. Give it off now to Matanzima. Oh, tackled a little bit high there, I believe, and it is going to be the advantage here for the Bulls. Now flat ball. It's a knock on once again. The handling errors have let them down a little bit. The truth is, I'm dreading Ireland's chances in New Zealand next year. Says Kana Koinen, and we also get to see it at the end of this year as well. We will get to see that match take place between Ireland and New Zealand, although the Irish, they are one of those sides you can never count out completely. Like we saw that game that did take place in the USA, and they just fought and fought and fought in that game. And that is why, at the end of the day, I am still in those games. USA, Wales, Ireland, Scotland, I believe, is another one, and also Italy, I think, is the other team that I haven't mentioned there that the All Blacks are going to be playing. Or actually, it's France rather than Scotland. My apologies there. They are all games that the All Blacks should win, but seeing that performance from today and also just knowing the passion that those other sides can bring and the physicality on home soil, I'm still a little bit nervous for the All Blacks in that regard. But now it's going to be in the hands of the number 23 once again, Jamie Osborne, and the All Blacks never stop playing for a second wish. There was that fire like that burning inside the Springboks as well, says Johan, and that is something that I have heard in terms of the factor of that 80-minute performance. The All Blacks try and do it every single week. They didn't have the best one up against the Springboks in this one, admittedly, but they will always go out and try and up the tempo in the later stages of the game. Whereas the Springboks, they enjoy that kind of methodical pace, being able to kick that ball in behind, being able to kind of take their time and work out exactly what they want to do. But then they've got the likes of a Mapimpi or an Nkosi out on the wing, but they don't use them very often at all, just because of the fact that they prefer to go for that box kick from de Klerk or Pollard. And I think that is something that is kind of costing them a little bit. That is going to be a knock-on from the Bulls. It's starting to get repetitive at this stage, the amount of times that I have said there. The difference is Southern Hemisphere run as well, says the Guru YouTube. And also we have got there, I'll be supporting Ireland in that match. Sorry, May AVs as well, says Katie Dixon. I am fine with it. It is all good indeed, because I feel like that one's going to be a very exciting game. And you consider yourself Katie O'Dixon as well. Says it is Kana Koinen as well in South Africa, 56-0 with 1 minute to go. I guess they've probably, Mexico, fair play to them, they've slowed them down a little bit into those later stages of that game because of the fact it was 35 at half time, I should say. So, they've slowed them down just that tad. Nice one, Mexico indeed. But now, scrum feed now, 40 metres out from the line of Leinster. Can they get themselves one more try in this game up against the Bulls? And at this stage, their points differential, they only needed to win this game by 13 points to take first place. They haven't just done that. They've done it in double and some as well. Truth is, Canuck Wallabies have already won 2023, so stop stressing and just accept it as well. Says that BKR Sport, and also we have there, thanks brother as well from Katie Dixon to Kana Koinen in the chat as well. We're just having another scrum reset. I can't understand the ABs are so good all the time, and the Springboks are just so inconsistent. And though both the Kiwis and Springboks have won 3 World Cups apiece as well, says Johan. Because I guess up until this point for the Springboks, like from that World Cup, they were on an absolute high. British and Irish Lions tour, they didn't do too badly in those games, but they were still tested by the British and Irish Lions. And it's really in that situation of trying their best to be able to try and find what works heading into, I guess, that Northern Hemisphere, a little bit of a tour. They're going to be playing Wales, England and whatnot as well, but also heading towards that World Cup, working out exactly what they want. Watch the sevens and winning dollars as well, says Big Ass Spawn. And also, we have got there, where'd you run off to? Says, can I go in to a Big Ass Ball there, but now it is going to be going back across once again. Offload, beautifully done there. Healy gets a ball on the 22 for Leinster. Can they get themselves that one more try that they will be after? Nice set play here, and it's looking like a certain no. Frawley took it on himself, and it's going to be a turnover penalty. Chris Smith wins it for a side. You know what, they did very nicely there indeed. It looked like it was going to be a certain try on that outside, but in the end, just didn't quite get it going there. We always got the here's your medal for participating as well. Says Kana Koinen, because I stream NFL on Mondays from 3 a.m. to until about 1 p.m. my time. I need to adjust my sleep schedule and stay awake very late tonight as well, says BK Sport there as well. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, that is for sure. The Springbok defense lead to huge overlaps in favour of the opposition as well, says Johan. Yeah, unfortunately for them in that game today, they just weren't quite able to kind of get that back line going. I like the look of it at times. It looked like when they decided to use it, it was going to be dangerous, but it's just not going to it enough. They often kind of go for that kicking game instead, which I sometimes understand, but other times I kind of wonder why they do it from around that halfway line. I want to see them play a great rugby, and it was an interesting battle, I will admit that, for that match today between the All Blacks and the Springboks, because we got to see running rugby versus the kicking game, and really just both sides playing that chess match in that regard, although we did have a lot of stoppages due to the amount of penalties and whatnot that we did have throughout this one as well. And let's say another knock on, unfortunately for them. It's just going wrong for the Bulls in this game. About 15 knock-ons as well. We all know AB, the team to beat, maybe? Team to beat? Maybe, says the girl YouTube. Hopefully I have got it right in that regard. But now it will be a round of applause for Leinster, as they are sitting currently with 31 points. That is going to be the full-time whistle as well, once we do have one more stoppage in play as well. What a performance it's been from Leinster, getting themselves the bonus point, getting themselves into first place on the table as well. Very nicely done from the men in the blue in front of a home crowd at AVIVA Stadium. What a great way to start the competition. 3 minutes left as well. Says Katie Dixon in the chat as well. Nonetheless, anyone who has enjoyed this one, we are going to be transferring over to another live stream. It will be Munster taking on the Sharks. It should be an absolutely incredible game as well. And hopefully the Sharks will be able to fight a little bit harder in that one. All Blacks only beat Australia because of Wallabies. Want New Zealand to believe they're better. But oh my, we're playing a Trojan horse mind games with them as well, says BKR Sports. So I guess you guys did the same thing against Argentina, just to try and keep them in the game for a little bit longer, I guess. Because the fact that there wasn't really, I mean, the Wallabies, they did all right at times, but they didn't really run away with that one like initially expected. But we have got there in the chat. I said 35-10 Leinster. It was close as well. You were indeed, which is a very decent guess. I said 15 points for Leinster, and then I apologized straight away for anyone for the Bulls who was watching, because I felt like I was being too harsh. Maybe I was just being a little bit too nice with that regard as well. That was exactly like Benetton as well. Bulls handling was worse than a junior level side in the world as well. And I do think Oz looking good as well. That one's gone into touch there. And that is going to be full time, ladies and gentlemen. Leinster winning this game up against the Bulls. 31 points to 3 as well. And they have done very nicely to get themselves that bonus point. Josh Van den Fleur as well. Also Andrew Porter, James Tracy, and then also what's the try for Ross Byrne in the later stages of this game as well. GG as well. Says Katie Dixon. The Springboks are known for their bomb squad, but if you have faster players and quicker players, you can beat them as well. Or in quick handling, from Russell and David Russell. And what I will do quickly as well for you, ladies and gentlemen, we will see what the score is in the other game of this round, because I saw originally it was actually Cardiff. No, it wasn't. That's a lie. It was actually Edinburgh who was starting to run away with that game as well. So we will have a look at it in Edinburgh. Were they able to get the win? That's a big question. We will wait and see the scores for this one. It's actually always a very close game between those two sides. It is 26 points to Edinburgh, 22 points to the Scarlets. So that is incredibly close for the later stages of that game. I believe they will be sitting around that 70-something minute mark, if I'm not wrong there as well, which is a very exciting. Well, I missed the demolition. Nothing short of impressive from the Dublin side as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, they were able to just handle this game very well. There was never a moment that they looked like they were going to be struggling, and they were able to score 2 very early tries that the Bulls just weren't quite able to fight back from to beat Australia. I back Australia to beat England and Ireland as well, says the Girl YouTube in the chat as well. But nonetheless, I think we are almost getting close to the end of this live stream. Like I mentioned, we are going to be doing the game between Munster and the Sharks that will be kicking off after this one. It is going to be a 7:35 a.m. kickoff here in New Zealand. We will be starting at around probably 7:15 or so. Got a little bit of talking to do. We will also have the lineups popping up for this next one, and also the scoreboard will be coming around as well. Bull substandard as well. Leinster setting an early mark as well, says Kana Koinen, and they are indeed. And they are looking like a side. They're going to be tough to beat, and I'm excited to see who they play next. In fact, I will get that up for you guys very quickly. Round 2, Leinster are going to be taking on, it will be the Dragons, so that should be an easy enough win for them, I would think. Round 3, who have they got? I'm looking through Leinster versus Zebra. Okay, so that's not one to really worry about. Leinster versus Scarlets. Okay, all right, we're still waiting. Leinster, Glasgow, good. Leinster versus Ulster, maybe. That's on the 28th of November. That's a little way away for their next game that I think could be a real challenge for them, or at least a little bit of a challenge for them. And then Leinster versus Munster, that is 92 days away. So that is one to look forward to as well. We have got there Sebastian Wasp with a big win. Bristol are shocking as well, says Kana Koinen. And also there was a huge win for the for Northampton playing the Exeter Chiefs. So in the end, with that result as well, it does mean that both of the sides that were top of the table last year both sit in bottom. And I believe they will stay bottom as well with their points differential, although maybe Exeter Chiefs might sneak their way up a little bit more. That was an attractive angle. Ladies and gentlemen, the yawns are coming out. That's about our sixth of the night. We are counting them at the moment, and we're hoping that that is going to be the last of them because we do not want too many more of them, or else my eyes will struggle to keep awake as well. But nonetheless, do thank you all very much for tuning in. Like I mentioned, we will be starting in around 13 minutes time for our next live stream that is going to be between Munster and also it will be up against the Cell Sea Sharks as well. The Bears are just not the team that finished on at the top of the table last season, are they, as well, says Sebastian? Yeah, unfortunately, they just don't seem to have that kind of, I guess, urgency for them or something along those lines that just doesn't seem to be working out for them. But the disappointing Western Bulldogs lost the AFL Grand Final against Melbourne Demons, and also Penrith Panthers won into the Grand Final as well, says Jeffrey there. That was a big upset for them to be able to get the win over the Melbourne Storm there, and for all your hard work as well. Oh, thank you very much earlier on from K Dixon. I was like, for all your hard work, I thought that was the only one that we have got there. Thank you, Hamish, as well. No worries. I absolutely love doing these ones. We are currently sitting 7 a.m. here in New Zealand. Haven't slept, but that just means, the thing is, it sounds weird. We're probably talking about it on the next live stream a little bit more, but I quite enjoy doing these very, very, very late live streams because I know when I wake up, it's tea time. And I think if you guys saw me and my mum, we were talking on live stream. Seems like we might begin some fish and chips, as we call it here in New Zealand. So that's why I'm so excited. I'm going to get fish and chips for later on when I do decide to get up as well. I've got there, the D1 as well, and cool as well, says the Guru YouTuber. Now that I think about it, okay, as you guys can see, we're getting closer to the sunny time. Maybe it was raining earlier, but now it's not. So we have to wait and see whether or not that will still stay the same way. But Edinburgh and also Scarlets are still playing at this point, it seems. Wondering when that game is going to be ending. And we have got their pop down, the old chippy as well, says KT Dixon. Yeah, looking forward to it. Wellington Lions should win, and also Taranaki to win, says Jeffrey. I really want to do those games as well, but I know that my brain will not work during those ones because of the fact that if we go fish and chipping for tea, that closes at around 8 p.m. or so. So it does mean that if I was to do the games going up to 4, I would miss the fish and chips if I did end up staying up till all of those games. I really want to watch that game, though, for Wellington Lions taking on Hawke's Bay. I feel like that's going to be an absolute awesome one, but the brain cells, they just won't allow it more than likely. We have got chips as well from Sebastian, and also we have got there Melbourne, says the Guru YouTube. And at this stage now, I'm getting a notification saying I've got a Toulon versus Stade Francais live stream. It's 7 a.m. Didn't they play? Stade Francais just they played before, and they ended up winning, I believe. What game is that thinking I've got? I've got a Hollywood games scheduled in my calendar, and by a Hollywood games I mean all the way up to like November or December is all scheduled. Who is it that it is going to be? It is actually going to be Toulouse versus Clermont. That wasn't even close. In that regard, we've got there who wins the NRL Grand Final. I mean, the Panthers at the moment are on a bit of a roll, but the Rabbitohs are one of those sides as well that, who knows, maybe they could get it. I am excited for that match, though. I think I will end up watching it. I don't think I'll live stream it, though. I think that is more out of my depth. But we have got 4 a.m. Melbourne as well, says the Guru YouTube. Yeah, it is certainly early here in New Zealand as well. We're going to get to see the sun come up, which is very nice indeed. It's very overcast, so we're not going to get to see the sun come up, but we'll get to see it get a little bit lighter out there at this stage. And go Sharks as well, says Johan, and chips in the chat as well. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. So what we will do is we will be going straight over to our next live stream in only about 9 minutes time as well. Rabbitohs the win, says Jeffrey Fockett, and also I predicted before the season had even started that the Panthers would win this season. Prediction looking good at the moment. Sharks must eat the Munster Bock as well, says a Johan. And hopefully you guys will be here for that next match. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you all for the next one.